just a bloke in a bar.
You'd probably get a sore lower back.
Well, that's exactly what you get.
Or a side strain.
But you know how like...
Well, that might have been swimming.
Well, you think that... you think it might have been a swimming related?
When I have never had this injury in my life.
Eddie's injured.
Now I'm
injured?
Side strained up.
Would you be like NRL physio casualty ward right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the casualty ward. And I was in the casualty ward the week before.
Lower back, now it's side strain.
Lower back last week, side strain this week. I'm in the fucking wars, bro.
NRL physio, if you're watching, may you please do a rundown of Eddie's back?
Well, like you can, if you want to make up for lost time, last week was sore lower back, this week
But
side
you
strain.
fixed the lower back because that was just because you're tight through the hips.
No,
and
I did the
arms.
hip flexors.
Yeah, stretching the hip flexors.
Foot back on the back of the
You can get the foot
calf,
back.
Then
Can you get the foot back?
Yeah, I can get the foot back.
That's a fucking big win there.
Is that a big win?
That's a massive win for a bloke.
Okay, you got the
I can't get the foot back anymore. I
Can't
used to
ya?
be able to. Well, no.
What do you mean you can't get the foot back?
You can't get the foot back?
Not really. I mean, like if I could, but not a heel to ass kind of
No,
stuff.
he's not getting heel to ass.
But I mean, still getting up a bit.
You're getting close.
Getting close.
I'm going all right.
No, you're doing very well. For
Can
a
you
man
get heel
who's,
to
like,
ass
can't touch
or
his
close?
toes, you're doing well.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Try
probably
heel to
could.
ass. If you can, it's
I'd
a
say,
win.
no, dude, like, so when you got to think about that. That's
Oh,
like
no.
jamming it all the way to your ass. We're not doing that shit.
No,
We're not doing that.
Okay.
I could, but I don't want to.
You, since we've started training for the marathon, have shown yourself to be actually almost more injury prone than me. I don't know how you
He's a
got
Ferrari.
through, but I don't know how you got through so much Oztag without getting injured.
Yeah, but I wasn't running 15Ks when I was fucking playing Oztag. Do you know what I mean? It's
No.
just the strain, and I wasn't swimming. These are new activities. These are new things. I'm
You must
bloody.
have been,
I
Swimming,
know.
he can't.
I've stayed in my lane. You know what I mean?
He
Yeah.
can't swim. It's hilarious.
Can't stay.
We were training. Shout out to Bronte Blueies.
I don't have any natural buoyancy.
But so part of our training is punishments, and so we had to do swimming in Clovelly, like out
Why'd
to
we
this
do
boy and
punishments?
back, because we were
It's fun. It's fun.
well, because I fucking pounded a lot of pizza.
6 out of 7 nights.
5 out of 6 days I had pizza for dinner.
Fuck me.
It was a bad run.
I thought I was bad.
No, it was a bad run.
So we
Like,
did
that's-
5 laps.
But it was also you pounded KFC twice in a day, so it wasn't.
Oh,
like,
that's not.
Yeah,
the
but that would have been
same.
2 laps. We had to do 5.
No.
'cause you had
Well,
5
you can regale us with your weekend, you motherfucker. Your weekend was bad. Mine was worse.
I don't think weekend counts. Like it's kind of like whatever. But if you're banging pizzas 5 out of 6 nights, weeks, are we talking
no.
work days as well?
No, it was Friday to Wednesday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I tell you what, you're lucky. That's a death spiral.
Yeah.
You can't, if you had to hit 7 or 8, you're not coming back from that.
3 of those were like poor choice. You're a pig. Don't order
Yeah.
pizza 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
The other 2 were I went to my mum's for dinner. She was moving overseas.
Yeah.
They were serving pizza. Had no choice. The next one was we were hosting Boxing's Night of Nights for No Limit and KO, and they were serving pizza as well. So those were incidental, but I could have said no. Chose not to.
Yeah, you could have, for sure. Look, to be honest, 5 nights out of 6, regardless of reason, is pretty hectic.
Now, I deserved the punishment. We had to swim. Eddie, noted family history in the male side of his family that they aren't buoyant.
Yeah, I can't drag the female side into this.
No.
It's a male-based
It's
issue.
a male-based issue.
Yep. There's footage of my father in the pool in Bali, and he's basically swimming on the bottom of the pool. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. I tried to dig it up, and he passed that on to me. He must have got it from his father. I'm sure he would have. I have it, and my brother has it.
He's always said it, and I confirmed it. I have seen the video of his old man swimming, but I was always a bit like, maybe he's playing it up. Then I spoke to Eddie's brother Hamish. He confirmed that the family on the male side aren't buoyant. But so we had to swim. We had to swim out and back from this boy 6 times. So
I can't float. Put it that way.
Yeah.
out and back is 1.
Did you have floaties
Out
on
and
the
back 2.
arms?
I needed them.
We swim out. So it's like it was choppy water as well at Clovelly. We swim out to the buoy and
Trying
then
conditions.
back once. I almost drowned because I was laughing. Because as we get back once, Eddie's already reverted to breaststroke. He's like, he's like, and just sucking him in. And he's like trying to like mutter like, holy fuck, this is tough. But it's like, you know, it was tough, but it's not, he particularly can't swim and he doesn't have buoyancy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he's already reverted to fucking breaststroke after 1 lap. And then after Josh, our trainer, sees how badly Eddie's doing, he completely changed it. So up and back isn't 1 now. That's 2. It's like, let's drastically reduce the amount of laps you got to do because Eddie might die.
You know what that says to me, Eddie? You're just from a long line of blokes that didn't need to swim. You never ran off your island.
No.
You
country boy.
You never ran off your island. You dominated your area. And
They
said, "I'm not going
weren't
nowhere."
country conditions, what I faced the other day. Clovelly.
You're a
fucking,
dam operator at best.
That was dams are still. This thing was fucking, this thing was wild and free. in the end employed the just like head down, smash out. Like let's say we're swimming 30 meters.
Out, 30 metres out, 30 metres back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd get through like 20, 25 and then I'd have to come up and just suck in the big ones. I was like, I couldn't get the air in quick enough. I was like,
he looked
so
like
you can't do 1, 2. Jesus.
like that.
he looked like legitimately rattled when we got out. Like when he sort of just like standing, he's like.
But the energy required to keep me on the surface.
Yeah.
It's
almost twice as a normal man.
It's just burning the oxygen.
But did you complete?
Like if I stopped and just like let my buoyancy take over, I'd sink to the bottom.
Fish food.
Did you complete the mission?
I completed
Of course you completed the mission.
And then fucking staggered out of the water and almost collapsed.
But so do we think that may be the genesis of the side strain?
But I'm like, so I've never had a side strain, but I also never swim. So what's going on? Like I frolic. I'll frolic.
Yeah, frolic.
But
of course.
swimming laps is a different thing.
Absolutely. So is it your lats that are hurting?
Yeah.
Just one side though. That's why I'm like.
Yeah. See, I can understand if they got sore because like if you don't use them that often, like if I were to swim tomorrow, they'd be sore as shit.
Here. NRL physio diagnosed me.
NRL physio. One of the great athletes this country has seen is struggling.
Diagnose me.
We need him back on the potty.
But my back's good now, so I'm one thing to the next, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Can't fucking
it's all
keep
out
up.
of whack for you. You've put your whole is it chakras out of balance?
Well, my chakras are out of balance, and I'm in marathon training, and I haven't been able to do anything for 5 days.
I ran 12.5 Ks, Kempy.
Did you?
That's the longest I've ever run in my life.
That's fucking
no
good.
Injury.
How much are you weighing now? And I'm not doing that to be a dick.
No, I'm 95. So I was 90, back up 95. Pizzas 5 nights a week. I'll do that. But 12.5 Ks, the longest I've ever run. And as I said, like no disrespect to Eddie, who's obviously like injury prone, but
12 Ks. That's a fucking fair whack for a bigger fella.
and it's nowhere near 42. So that's exciting.
So when is that going to happen? That
September. I got time.
It was 11 weeks on Sunday.
42 Ks. So how's the bumblebees and the Gary Jack?
The back was a bit sore, but again, when you're doing these stretching, it's the back's all right. Knees, the only thing that was bad after the run is the knees, but they're like, when you do something physically hectic, you're thinking, oh, fuck, I'm going to feel this in the next couple of days. I just iced them that day and then I'm good to go. So
that means you're becoming conditioned, which is good.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who'd
Are
have
you
thought?
secretly an athlete underneath all of that?
There's reports. There's some, there's unconfirmed reports that you might be dealing with the fucking real deal, but we're not sure yet.
Man, look, I commend you for wanting to do a 40.
Well, the punters and dribblers are all taking bets on like my excuse for pulling out of this race. Marathon, not a race. But I think really they should start looking at the reasons.
You're not going to pull out of this.
No, but he might, because he's injured every fucking day.
Well, I know you won't. Your ego won't let you.
I'll walk the fucking thing.
Exactly. See, I know Eddie. I mean, I know Tom. I know Tom. Eddie, on the other hand, I can see you going, you know what? Fuck it.
You reckon I'll pull out?
Look, you're a man of conviction. I'm not going to say that you're not, but I do see you also as a man of like looking at the bigger picture going, does it really matter? Do we really exist? Is there any point in me doing this?
Yeah, what's the point of this?
What is the
real
point?
Nihilistic shit.
Yeah. I can see it.
If the body holds up, I'll be completing it. But,
He's got quit.
Didn't you actually try one? Didn't you a bit ago with your mates and they're fucking like the hottest day in the world? Was that you?
That was, we were running, we had to... It was
they were mates of
ours were doing 3 marathons, which is essentially from Bondi to Palm Beach and back. The day they chose to do it was like 45 degrees. It was the hottest day on record. I started running from Narrabeen Lake, and I was supposed to go to Palm Beach. That would have been like 20 Ks.
Yeah.
I got 13 Ks in. I had to call it quits.
Yeah, fuck that.
I was overheating,
mate.
And I could feel myself overheating. I'm like, if I don't pull it up here. My weekend's ruined. I'll be I'll get heat stroke and shit.
Bigger picture.
And it's so hilly. It wasn't flat. It wasn't nice. It's
You're a bigger picture
hilly.
guy. You got quitting you. It's all right.
Yeah,
I'm still out there, bro, doing it.
Well, technically, he's probably run further than you at the moment in the last 12 months.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
As I'm saying, literally the longest I've ever run in my life. And I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Hey, fair play to you. But
Eddie ran further than me though, like the next day. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Well, you were a good 400-meter runner, weren't you?
Yeah. If I'm fit, I'll put an hour on him.
Whoa, some good chat.
No, that's true.
That's great chat.
Comfortably true.
But I can see Eddie's a bit of an athlete. Tom, I like your grit though. I'm a grit guy. You're a grit kind. You're a grit-based athlete.
Yeah, I'm a Ruben Cotter. I'm a Jake Trbojevic. I'm grit.
You are so similar to Jake Trbojevic, bro.
Yeah, I'm just grit.
I can see that shit.
Put me in there, I'll do a job.
Yeah,
not Ruben Cotter. He's too injury prone.
That's true. So I'm more Jake.
You're a Jakey.
Yeah.
You're a Jakey.
Fucking hell.
You're a Jakey. What about you, mate? You going to get out there, do a marathon? Or
What a
what?
Jacob.
Oh, I do need to get back into.
Do you still go to the gym?
Yeah, I try to,
Do you
but
want to run the marathon with us?
not at the moment.
Oh,
Do you,
come on, buddy.
How, like, what sort of shirt do you wear to the gym? Do you wear like a little
Nah,
singlet?
just like this. But when I'm
Nips
fucking
out.
in good nick, I'll fucking spice it up a bit.
Yeah.
I'm a good nick.
Actually, when we put up a graphic of you for our live stream, Tubler said that, like, back in the day, literally every single photo of yours, even in winter, was shirtless.
That's how I rolled. Yeah. That was actually.
I want to see that Kempy come back.
Yeah, but that was single Kempy. That's when just before I met my missus, and so I was fucking young.
When you fucking get wifed up, and I don't mean just you, anyone, like if you keep a good body, then I don't think you're in a happy relationship. There, I said it. If you stay fit, you aren't happy.
It's a good point.
We've got a theory. We've got a theory.
Yeah.
If you have a 6-pack and you're not paid to have one,
What are you
says
doing?
something about you.
Yeah.
You might be McGill.
Look, it might be a bit too Magoo for a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
us.
when I first met her, I was in really good nick. And then
what? And then-
we met, and in the first year I was in good nick. But then you just like, look, we're fucking married. Who
What's
gives
the
a
point?
fuck? Like,
You enable each other from like a
Yeah.
food-based perspective. Oh, should we
and you
get
know
a
what? You're
raise?
enjoying life.
Yeah,
you
dude.
you don't have to worry about that anymore. As long as you stay relatively healthy, you're just enjoying food together. Like, who wants to go to the movies and not experience love to its fullest capacity?
I completely agree. A mate of mine once, we used to train together, and one day he just sent us all a message saying, "I'm not going to come anymore. I've chosen a life of delectable treats." And I'm like, you know what?
Respect.
I respect the fucking shit out of that.
Hey,
It's a man that knows what he wants.
As long as you stay
That's
healthy,
right, dude.
healthy, like as in you're healthy and your mind's working well. I could never.
That's the only reason I go for runs every now and
Yeah,
then,
100%.
is so I can eat KFC twice on the weekend.
I do it just to
story.
make sure my
That's just-
head's clear.
Well, a
But
bit of that.
like if I was dating a chick and she was constantly like, no, we can't go there because I'm blah, blah, I'd be like, you don't love. Like all you do is love being ripped, and I don't like that.
My sister, it was my dad's birthday yesterday. Shout out to Bill, 69 years old, lol. My sister made the cake for him, and it was a good cake in fairness to Bonds, but she was like...
What kind of cake was it?
Well,
Carrot cake?
this is the problem, right? She's like more of a healthy person. Definitely not a
Carrot cakes are healthy because it's just all carrots.
It wasn't a carrot cake, trust me. I wouldn't be here. But so she made a
You'd be the
cake.
food came up and
Yeah,
demolished
you
it.
ate the whole thing.
But she made this thing where I'm like, it was like a no processed sugar, maple extract fucking thing to try and make it sweet. Now it was nice, but I'm like, listen,
It's not the real deal.
if you're going to make us a cake, Bonds, I hope you don't watch this, just cut the bullshit and make it unhealthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pound of sugar, fucking chocolate out the arse.
Why do you think Ben and Jerry's exploded?
Just
Because they
make it.
said, fuck it.
This is what we're here for. We're here to be unhealthy, make
Yes.
it unhealthy. Again,
Yep.
it was lovely. I enjoyed it, but could it have been better? Yes.
Yeah.
This is, it was carob vibes.
Better than carob, but not as good as chocolate.
But a carob vibe.
Yes. Yes, a chocolate substitute, basically. And I'm just saying, like, if we're going to do this thing, let's fucking do
let's do it.
Let's go the whole hog.
Look, maybe she
the whole
knew.
hog.
Maybe she knew you'd already eaten the hog 4 or 5 nights in a row.
she was aware.
So she's aware
she
of you
knows
eating
that
hog?
I'm not fucking...
Was it pizza last night?
No, wasn't. No.
What did you have last night?
I don't know for dinner last night.
Honestly.
Pasta. And some cake.
Fuck. Jesus Christ, bro.
Couldn't help it, man. It's my dad's birthday. I'm not going to not enjoy
How many
cake on his
slices did
birthday.
you have?
Just one.
Big
Okay.
slice?
No, it was decent.
It's half the cake.
It was it was a slice. You best believe you see it, you go, that's a slice of cake. But it wasn't obnoxious.
Wasn't a
Full glass
bog
of
trotter
water.
size?
No, it wasn't Brucey Bogtrotter.
Shout out
Can't
to
be
Bruce
doing it. Shout out to
Bogtrotter.
Bruce Bogtrotter, one of the great cake eaters all time.
Yeah.
If not the greatest.
No, probably the greatest.
I think he set the benchmark
Yeah, he did.
for how cakes to be eaten.
Yep.
Are we talking about the bloke from Matilda?
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. Brucey
Brucey
Bogtrotter.
Bogtrotter.
Mate, one
the
of the
best to
all-time
ever
ones.
do it.
Yeah.
He is the best to ever do
You
it.
got to finish the whole thing, Brucey, and he did.
And he did. That was one of the great fuck yous in movie history.
That was one of the great, like, it's a very male thing to go, you know what, I'm going to hurt myself, but I'm going to prove that
Yeah,
I'm
well,
going
Miss
to do
Trunchbull, eat a dick because I'm eating this cake.
There was no quitting Brucey Bogtrotter.
No.
quit.
Zero quit.
Zero
it. He's the Jake Trbojevic of cake eating world.
Yeah. He just chuck a nut.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I'll do the tough stuff.
He ran for 300 metres.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
45
no
tackles.
drop balls, no missed tackles.
Absolutely.
Terrific
They're
bot from Bruce.
They're getting him in for an inspirational talk, game 3.
Mate, I'm telling you what, there'd be dumber things that Freddie could do than get Brucey Bogtrotter in there to rev the boys up.
No, but all you do is you sit him down in front of the boys and just watch him pound a fucking cake into the earth, right?
This doesn't look possible, does it?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, neither's 80 minutes non-stop in Origin, you know what I mean? So if I can do this, you can do it.
I reckon Jake Trebojevic draws on a bit of Bruce when he goes about his work.
Fucking oath he does. A lot of people have like inspirational speeches or music they listen to. He just listens to that scene in Matilda before he runs on the field.
Because there wasn't a person alive that thought Bruce would get through that cake.
No way!
It was huge.
It was a big cake.
That was a huge cake.
I think Trunchbull made it herself as well.
She would have. That's it. You'd need a couple of ovens going at once to bake that thing. That was fucking huge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of preparation to humiliate a young boy, if I'm being honest.
Well,
but it backfired in her face.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't know what he was made of. And that's the fucking tough stuff.
The right stuff. The right stuff.
So, look, are we jealous that people get to be ripped and look better than us? Maybe. So keep your six-pack. Respect. He's going to be an athlete soon. Eddie's already an athlete.
That's not fair. We're both athletes.
Okay, sorry. What's up, guys? If you want the Bloke in a Bar network to keep growing, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. We've got the OG Bloke. The OG Bloke is stocked in every single Celebrations, Bottle O, IGA Plus liquor and Porter's liquor in New South Wales and ACT. Or you can go to our website, put in your postcode, it will show you the nearest stockers. We are nationwide, outside of West Australia and South Australia. Go to your local stockist, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar OG, or Bloke Midi is in every single Liquor Legends in New South Wales, ACT, Queensland and Victoria. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. Keeps the lights on, baby. Also, it's a beautiful beer. Let's get back to the show. Hot boy Reece Walsh's song with the Brisbane Broncos.
This is my favourite story.
Yeah.
Because
It's my favourite story.
Yeah.
Because
Can we, before we get there, can I?
You go.
You lay the land.
I'm just going to lay the land.
Yeah, you lay it.
Well, first of all, I felt like last year when you guys were putting shit on losing Reece Walsh, I did tell you that the hot boy would be back. He would come home. But I'll lay the floor to you guys now.
It reminds me of the story of Kerry Packer selling 9 to Alan Bond for like billions of dollars, and then he bought it back for fuck all. It's the inverse of that.
Okay.
So you let him go for fuck all and then buy him back for shitloads. Like you got rinsed.
You got rinsed.
You got rimmed.
You do realise what the reported number is, don't you?
Yes, $1 million.
No, it's not.
That's what the reported number is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. I saw that yesterday.
He's saying
that is fake news.
He's
What
saying
is
it's
it?
400 grand, which is also probably incorrect because there's no way Reece is going.
No
for
one,
less than
not a single journalist like worth his salt has said it's $1 million a
I've
season.
seen $1 million.
You know what's funnier about this, Eddie? Is
What's the number then?
It's roughly 400k.
How would you know?
Shit.
Because most people have confirmed it.
Yeah.
No one has said it's $1 million a season. There's people that have made errors and said it's $1 million a
So
season
some
when it's
people
not.
said $1 million then.
No, someone has read an article and made the error and not read the article properly. Like they said that for $1 million contract, then that person has gone $1 million per season, when in reality the initial report was always around $1 million contract over 3 years, which is about 400k.
So
It's only
There's
300k.
there's lies everywhere.
It says just over $1 million.
Lies everywhere.
Lies everywhere. Eddie.
Still, the analogy still works.
No, the biggest concern here for Brisbane of being rinsed within an inch of their life fame is this. You ever heard of a young boy, Origin boy, called Selwyn Cobbo?
Yep.
You know what he dreams of?
Selwyn Throbber.
Selwyn Throbber. He dreams of playing fullback. You know what he's not playing anymore? Fullback, because Reece Walsh is just going to come in. So Selwyn, wouldn't be surprised to see Selwyn.
So they're
down.
dashing the dreams of a young footballer.
Yeah.
In the prime of his life.
Yeah.
No way. You know what they're doing?
Can
They
you just admit, right? Like take your Broncos hat on and put your Warriors hat on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Said on twice. It was confusing, but I get
off and on.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Tom. That's why you're here, mate.
Yep.
Keeping me honest. Like, it's funny to those outsiders looking in.
Yeah.
Because we see a Broncos side that played one of the great shockers of all time and letting Reece go. He played Origin that year, and now you're getting him back for more than you were paying.
Didn't play Origin, but he was
Didn't play Origin. He was in the squad.
selected. He was selected, then couldn't play because he was injured.
Look,
But I'm with you, Eddie.
No, I'll admit, I was the first one to say, mate, terrible
He would have
move.
played.
He would have played. Got injured.
Terrible move from the Broncos to let go of Reece Walsh. But I don't think that he'd be signing a bigger contract than 400k if he had stayed. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the point.
No,
He'd
but
be
what I'm saying is
paying unders for him.
No, right now, let's say we kept him and he fucking
Was re-signed.
killed it, Reece Walsh, killed it that 1 year.
Yep.
He would have signed a bigger contract than 400k. So it's actually worked out even better for us. the
You
situation.
think that he would be getting paid more by the Broncos had he stayed?
100% because he has to. So
he wasn't even going to get picked in your fucking side.
The reports are that he's had a relationship breakdown. The Warriors have said you can't go back to Redcliffe Dolphins because they've got an issue with the Warriors.
That's so fucking salty.
So the Broncos are in a position where they say, look, this is all we've got in our cap. Take it or leave it. So they've been put in this position where...
Hang on. Why have the Dolphins got an issue with the Warriors?
Well, the Warriors basically have said that he can only go to the he can't go to the Dolphins. They won't release him if he wants to go to the Dolphins.
Why?
They've got some beef.
Well, reportly... And
what
again,
beef?
I'm about to tell you.
He's literally about to tell you.
The reports...
What beef? Sorry, dude.
If you could put two and two together, the Warriors' old recruitment officer or head of recruitment went to Redcliffe. On top of that, Wayne has been public in saying that he's interested in Reece Walsh whilst he's contracted to the Warriors. And so there may be some history there between the fact that, Warriors did have the head of recruitment that went to the Dolphins, and then that head of recruitment is trying to recruit one of their players, even though he was at the Warriors. And I think that's where the issue has arisen.
Serious salty shit.
That's really salty.
It's salty. So I do agree it was a massive error by Broncos letting him go, but it actually has worked out that they're going to get him cheaper than what they would have got him.
I don't agree with that they necessarily would have got him cheaper. Don't you think that's a lot of speculation, saying that they're getting him cheaper than they would have had they kept him? Because he was on 50 grand.
No, it wasn't 50 grand.
He was on 50 grand.
Okay, he was on 50 grand. You're telling me if he had the same year that he had at the Warriors, at the Broncos, let's just assume he played as good. You're telling me he only would have signed a 400k deal, a 350k deal at the Broncos?
I'm saying that there's every chance that he would have, if it's like he's already at the club, he loves it, he wants to stay for a bit longer. They might be like, all right, we're going to keep
being silly there, bro. You know he would have paid more.
What are you talking about? You also can only afford to pay him $300,000. Isn't that what you're saying? The Broncos are saying like, oh, this is all we can afford to pay you.
400k.
Yeah.
So they've had to move people on they're apparently going to move people on to keep him. What I'm saying is that if he had stayed at the Broncos, had the same 2 years that he had at the Warriors, made into Origin, he would have signed a bigger contract. The reason why he's getting paid less now is because circumstances have forced he needs to be back in Brisbane to be with his family. So he's willing to take unders.
I think
to
there's
be
too much
back.
speculate. Like there's too much like maybe this, maybe that to be like he would have been paid more by the Broncos.
So you honestly reckon that he's worth? Let's say on the free market right now, he's worth 400. He's worth 350k.
If you've got him for 350k, I'll be honest, that's a pretty good deal.
100%.
It's a great fucking deal.
It's a great deal.
Good deal.
But I'm saying that he wouldn't necessarily get more had he stayed beforehand.
I reckon he would have, because Selwyn would have made his debut. That money would have been used. All the players they moved on would have been used on Reece Walsh, and yeah, he would. I think he would have.
What do you think about the rumours suggesting that it's part of it is that they're expecting to lose Payne Haas, and so they're just trying to...
That's scary. That's scary.
Has the thought shifted?
Well, no. So
potentially,
no. So there is an argument to be made of like how can you afford Reece Walsh and also re-sign Payne Haas on an upgraded deal and Selwyn Cobbo and whatever
and Reynolds
but Reynolds is only on reportedly around 700k a year. Selwyn Cobbo, who just upgraded, I don't know what it is, but the reports were that it didn't break the bank. But look, it is a concern. Now they've named a few people. So David Mead's retiring.
That would have taken a huge chunk out of the cap, I'm sure.
Well, at minimum, it would have taken, I think it's 150, the minimum. Then you've got Reece Kennedy's going to Super League, who would have been on about 200 to 300k as a forward. Then you've got
300k for Reece Kennedy.
100% as a forward.
Who's Reece Kennedy?
2 to 300k.
No disrespect.
2 to 300k for a forward like that. Yeah, for sure. What do you think? It's just on minimum?
Potentially, because I've never even fucking heard of him. But that doesn't
he's a good solid player, and he was really good.
But if you're taking Mead out, who's on minimum, then you've got to replace him with minimum, right? So it's not really.
No, but I'm listing players that they are moving on.
I got the list here.
Okay.
So you got Ryan James and David Mead, who are retiring. Mm-hmm. Then you got Turpin, who's been granted a release. Then you've got Brenko Lee, who's going to the Dolphins, and Reece Kennedy, who's going to Super League.
So that's quite a fair whack of money that they could potentially. Again, though, I'm not saying maybe they will lose Haas from this. Maybe the writing is on the wall, which would be devastating.
Would you prefer to keep Haas and not Walsh, or get Walsh?
It's a tough one. That's a tough one. I probably. It just depends. Depends how much we pay him. If we're paying Reece Walsh 400, fuck, it's pretty hectic.
Current situation.
So what?
So you've got Reece Walsh, but Payne will go.
So Payne wants $1 million, I wouldn't sign Payne for $1 million at any club.
So what if you can? But like, if you had to lose one right now, just based on you got to pick one. You can only have one.
What about this?
You can only pick one.
Reece on 4 or Payne on 8?
It's a good question, bro.
Pick one.
Probably Payne on 8.
He hates Reece Walsh. Look at that. He hasn't even rocked up to the club yet. Sorry, Reece.
Yeah, and so just to be clear, we haven't like gotten through the reason as to. So basically, what happened is this: a few months ago, Reece Walsh came out, said that I am basically Reece Walsh had this year, next year, and then a player option for 2024. Now there were rumours that next year he had some kind of welfare clause. Again, I'm not sure if it's true, but let's just assume he was contracted for next year. There was a lot of speculation about him being signed by the Dolphins. He came out and said, no, I'm committed to the Warriors for the next, for the contract durations or whatever. Now, in the last 2 months, the CEO has come out and said in the last 2 months, he's had a relationship breakdown. Well, the head of football did say that.
What is it? A relationship breakdown with
his missus.
Oh.
And he said he's got a child with her.
Yeah.
So if he was to go back to New Zealand, then he would not be able to see his child, like pretty much. Like very, very rarely. And so Reece has gone to them and said, like, I'm sorry, but I just can't be away from my daughter. And that's why this whole thing has happened. So he was committed. Now, some people are not going to believe it, and there's nothing you can do for those people. But people that are like questioning his integrity and upset, and, you know, he said he was going to come back. I mean, I find, do we really want a bloke to not be with his daughter to play a bit of footy? I find that way more integrity. Like his public image taking a hit to be there for his daughter, if everything is true, is far more important than honouring a rugby league contract.
Do you guys then also now start to understand a bit more where I come from, where it's like I was late because I was with my kids?
Do you have kids?
I didn't know you had kids.
I got a couple. I got 2 daughters.
How
You fucking think Reece has got integrity? I got 2 daughters.
Do your kids write your schedule or something? How are you late?
Well, I'm late because I'm spending time with them. So I just think I really like what you're saying, though, right?
Yeah.
In the sense that like it does show.
So like late every week or just 1 week?
I love hearing that Reece is valuing his relationship with his children, because that's what I would do.
Okay.
And that's what I do when I'm late, because it's like, sorry, me and Evie were fucking playing with blocks.
Okay, so why don't you sit down and go, look,
I was changing Zoe's nappy.
You could go like, this happens every week. Maybe I should put a different time to start.
No, you can't. You can't. You just can't with kids, mate.
Imagine if you worked for like a bank and your start time was 7.
Yeah.
You got there in at like 10:30.
It's like, oh, sorry, I got kids.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, fuck, fair enough.
Well, they would. They'd be like, get integrity.
They'd be like, oh, fuck, you do have kids.
Yeah.
Like, sweet, come in 5 hours early.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Sweet.
Or 5 hours
Come
late.
in whenever you want.
Yeah, pretty much. Matter of fact, work from home.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we'll just pay you not to work.
There you go.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
That's why I'm with Reece. Fucking great call.
I reckon we should get a counter for how many times you bring in that you're a parent.
It's
Good luck.
Probably, I reckon,
Good luck counting that.
I reckon 7 times a
Good
show.
luck counting that, brother.
7 times a show across all shows.
You need another employee if you're going to do that.
And how many times he calls himself daddy?
Don't
All
do
the
that.
time. Well, I can't help it. That's happening.
Yeah, please don't do that.
It's very
Daddy
upsetting.
will
like,
always
makes me
call
feel-
himself daddy.
Because, like, there's only one dad for me, and it's my actual dad.
No, dude, it's me.
I love how you said daddies will always call himself daddy. My dad's literally never said
My
that in his
dad
life.
would
Who were
honestly
we with, though, recently?
chop
And there
his
were
dick
2
off
of us.
before he
That's
called
one
himself
other
daddy.
person I've ever come across.
But who had children, right? Younger people. Young daddies call themselves daddy.
Good lord.
Wow. Now, to be fair, I do understand where Warriors fans' frustrations are coming from. They've lost Lodge, they've lost Aitken, now they've lost Reece Walsh, regardless of, whatever happened. Someone brought up a good point. It's like, with everything, they've lost 2 coaches, they've lost Reece, they've lost Lodge, they've lost Aitken. Do the Warriors, should they get some kind of compensation or a way to help them out? Because it seems like it's much harder for them to recruit to New Zealand. What do you guys think?
It seems like it's difficult in the post-COVID world, as it's all still a bit all over the place. So I don't know, maybe.
Is it a post-COVID world thing, or is it the fact that during the COVID, the 3 years they've been here, they've ended up signing a lot of Aussie kids or kids that are born and raised in Australia that don't want to fucking go to New Zealand now that they're moving back?
Yeah,
is that the situation
if
we're
you're
in?
fucking signing a contract,
Why has it been? It hasn't been a problem in the past, and now it is.
that's what I mean.
Oh,
Right?
they do struggle to sign big names. It is a much different scenario of going to New Zealand rather than going just down to Melbourne, or it is much harder for a person.
But
to
I'm
make
more,
that
but
decision.
I'm more mean in the sense that these people have signed from, and now when it's time to go back, they're like, And there's different reasons, and I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying it just seems to be the situation they're in. Where it's like now that they've got to go back, people are going, well, fuck, I can't go.
Yeah, for sure.
They had the coach, they got Reece Walsh. There was a couple others that...
Yeah, Aitken, Lodge.
I'd love
Aitken
Dylan
and Lodge.
Walker to fucking backflip. He's in great form.
Yeah, look, it is interesting. I just think that, I actually think, and I know maybe it upsets the balance or whatever, but I think it's actually in the game's interest that the Warriors do get a bit of compensation because we want to grow in New Zealand if they're doing well. Now, if you're one of the other clubs, you're going, hang on a fucking sec, like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, Phil do it all the time. And then you go, shut up, get jammed, you're copping it.
And that's where I kind of think, look, if we're trying to grow the game there, maybe we need to incentivise. For example, how many young Kiwis do we see come to Australia and fucking rip? Now, could there be a way for the NRL to incentivise young Kiwis to stay in New Zealand? Like similar to the way, now I know Penrith don't have extra money, but because they're going so well, they are incentivised, the young guys are incentivised to stay, even though they've just lost a couple of young guns. Whereas like New Zealand, I feel like, every single club is like going over there, poaching the best and bringing it back. Would there be a way to be able to stop that or give them an extra fair, not even in the normal salary cap, they get extra salary cap in the like juniors or some shit like that outside of the 30?
There would be ways to do it. There would surely be ways to do it. Like, it's all becoming clear now that the fact that the Dolphins had 1 year in the same salary cap to fucking build a rugby league squad might have been a bit of a bridge too far, No. When you compare that to the Greater Western Sydney and the Suns when they came in the AFL were given like mammoth caps.
Yeah.
Mammoth caps. They were like, well, if you got Wayne Bennett, it'll be sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
Not really.
like their pack's all right, but they're pretty skinny in the back.
It's funny that clubs can actually put those sort of things on players where it's like, you can go, but you can't go to this. Isn't there a restriction of trade to some degree there? Where like
not really, because like he is contracted, so they could say you by you leaving, you're breaking contract.
Right,
so
but of course they get. But I just mean going like, I don't know. There is something about it.
Well, so like it's basically what happens is this: like we've got a contract, and then I say, look, I want something, and then they say, well, we aren't going to agree to release you unless you agree to our terms for the contract release.
And that's not going to fucking the Dolphins.
And that again, reportedly, that's not going to the Dolphins, which is pretty. And look, it's really interesting because apparently he knocked back a massive deal from the Dolphins to go to, like, as in I think he could have stayed next year at the Warriors and then signed a fucking ginormous deal with the Redcliffe, because that would be a restriction of trade because he has a player option in 2024. He could have said, look, I'm not taking my option up and I'm signing wherever I want. Apparently it was a massive offer he got from the Dolphins. And
he's obviously backing himself in though. He's only young, 3 years.
Yeah, 100%. Back himself in.
That.
I also think he's just desperate to be around his daughter. Like I think that he would literally, all jokes aside, like I think he would play for like nearly minimum to be with his daughter. You'd have to weigh up what's, is it worth him going away to earn a good money to give back to his daughter?
You would not want to fucking
be away from
in
daughter.
New Zealand.
No
way.
way.
So who left for the Dolphins? Munster?
He won't. He's not going to go.
Seems very.
Munster might get
seems highly unlikely.
Munster might get $2 million a year.
And then who
That's
else?
how desperate they are.
Who else is there?
No, they're in a tough
They're
spot.
fucked.
Is there anyone else?
They're in a tough
And
Is there someone I'm forgetting?
but the fact they've done this, right? Like the fact this is almost the most fucked up thing for the Dolphins, where it's like, now anyone but them, you're just like, oh, dude, they need someone so bad.
Munster could almost, he could start. Forget 1.5.
Give us 2.
Forget 1.5.
Yeah, I need twos.
I need
Go
a
to
10-year
2.
deal, $2 million a year.
Give me twos.
Munster's certainly not coming next year though, because he literally
already
just
said
did
he's
a press conference.
No, they're fucked
a week
next
ago.
year. They're fucked next year.
I mean, they've got a good forward pack. Maybe they just hang in games. You know what I mean? Like,
Mate.
like would you say that? Would you say
Would
their
their
forward?
depth be that good though? You get a fucking injury or two, and you're
Like, put it
deep
this way:
shit.
compare their.
They really needed another year.
100%.
Yeah.
1 year is fucking
It's
outrageous.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But like, compare their forward pack to say some of the bottom 4.
Their forward pack's pretty fucking good.
Pretty fucking good. So maybe
aging, but
Aging
good.
And they've got
lacking depth.
Sean O'Sullivan at 7, Milford most likely at 6. And they've got that young Penrith gun that is a half. Maybe they could battle to get off. I'm just talking about in the bottom 4, like battle around to just like get off the bottom of the ladder. But yeah, look, I understand Warriors' frustrations on this for sure. Like, it's been a tough few years. And as a few people have said, well, he's not willing to leave his daughter, but all the players left their daughters. I actually think that a lot of those players' families came across for that 2-year period. And the ones that couldn't come across, we actually saw those players go home and be with them instead of playing. There was like 4 or 5. Remember, there was like 4 players or something?
Yeah, I remember that.
That just went home because they couldn't be with their daughter. Like, they had young children. Look, I think when children's involved like that, fuck, you can never stand in the way of that. No way. But I understand why Warriors fans are a bit upset. Broncos now. I understand what you're saying. Selwyn Cobbo was probably going to move into that fullback position maybe next year. I personally still think he's like 12 to 16 months away from that fullback position. So I think what the Broncos have planned to do, A, they've got this hot throbber on the market, like just let's get him in the club and then work it out from there. B, I reckon what they're going to do is basically either Selwyn Cobbo moves into the centres, kind of like a Latrell did earlier in his career and then move back to fullback later. Yep. Or the plan could potentially be is for the next 2 years he plays centre or wing, Ezra Mam and Reynolds. Reynolds retires, Reece Walsh moves into that 6 role, Mam moves to 7, Cobbo at fullback.
There's options. You just got to get a throbber into the stable.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Fit throbbers into the stable however you
just
can.
fit them in.
Yeah.
You just make space for throbbers.
When in doubt, go hot. When in doubt, go hot.
Well, you can have throbbers, then you can have a hot throbber, and you always make room for a hot throbber.
Always. Because they throb and they're hot. Do you get that?
Fucking well, I understand it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Do you reckon Reece has like in the contract, like I'll come and I'll come cheap, but I need someone that tends to my eyelashes 24/7?
Yeah, you need one of those big horse brushes they use, but it's on his face.
They're opening a lash chain in his name.
Yeah.
Walsh's lashes.
And it's just him as the logo.
Yeah.
Go in and he gets a cut of every lash extension that gets done.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Walsh's lashes with his face on the front.
Probably why he took unders.
Yeah, because he's getting all the cash in the Walsh's lashes.
Got an eyelash chain,
Yeah.
up and coming.
Broncos under the table stuff.
Huge margins in lashes. Huge margins.
There is actually
Fucking humongous margins.
They
in
wouldn't
lashes.
think that, but there is.
Yeah.
And hair extensions, which you could use as lashes as hair extensions.
I think he could dabble in the extensions as well. Like, it could just be
All
all...
money in extensions.
It could be called Walsh's lashes or Reece's lashes, but also have hair extensions. Now, also... so just quick, just to finish that last point, I think that like what they'll do is their plan, hopefully. My concern with the Mam and Walsh being their halves is like, I don't know, is Mam a structured 7? Now I know he plays 7 in Q Cup and that, but is he structured enough to lay a platform for Reece Walsh to be the 6?
Get the boys around.
A couple of years next to Renault, he might be.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm still not sure whether 7 is his best position. At the moment, I think 6 is perfect for Ezra Mam. And so I wonder whether, like, are they too similar of players, like really good ball running 6s?
Is Mam now your 6 for the season, rest of the season? You reckon?
I think so, for sure. I think so. I think his defence has been outstanding. He's shown a lot of class, hasn't played poorly. I would lock him into that 6 role, in my opinion. And look, Cobbo, I still think he's 12 to 16 months away from fullback. I can see him playing at centre and play a similar role what Tommy plays at Origin. Obviously, I understand he's not Tom Trbojevic, but similar role, do similar things. Great signing. And if it is for the report, look, if it is closer to like a million, that's outrageous.
They were the reports I heard.
Yep. The other reports coming across our desk.
But I'm pretty sure it's 400, around 400K a year.
Well, to compare, the reports are that the Dolphins offered him 700. So Brisbane certainly didn't offer him 300 more.
Yeah. No.
Well, they got rid of him.
Pick and choose when we want to believe.
Is it like sorry money?
Him off.
Sorry money.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry money, you reckon?
Sorry money.
Sorry.
Well, it's just like you have a proven track record of playing shockers. we just chalk this up as another one.
Now on to good news for the Warriors, and
Benny Eichen wouldn't do that. It's too clever.
Chance Nickel-Kluckster has signed a 3-year deal starting next year with the Warriors. I think this is a great signing because you know he's going to be committed to the club. He loves the club. He only left the club because they essentially said you can go. I think he's a great fullback. I actually am extremely surprised at the Raiders. You know what's really interesting is like both players essentially did the same thing. Like they got a release a year early, but like Reece is getting annihilated, whereas like Chance, people are like,
Chance was getting fucked around by the Raiders, wasn't he? He was on the bench and shit. Like.
Yeah, well, but like, I don't know, like...
Did he come back underdone, then he got dropped?
Well, they just back Savage. Like, they just see Savage as the next Strobber and they want to play him. So I understand what you mean as in, like, he's not starting, so maybe go somewhere else. But like it's still the same boat. Like he's contracted to the Raiders, rah rah. But I'm surprised with this. I actually think the Raiders are throwing their eggs in the basket a bit too soon with Savage. I would have given Savage an extra season on the edge there and kept Chance at fullback. I think Chance is a fantastic fullback, but in saying that, it seems like the Raiders have decided to go this direction. So I think it's best for both parties. That like.
Let him go.
Yeah, like let Chance go and be a fullback somewhere else, and you get to free up a fair whack of your salary cap to give to Savage so that you don't lose him in your upgrade.
Yeah,
because you'll want an upgrade soon. So I think it's great signing because he's homegrown. You know he's always going to want to be at the club because it's his home.
Unless he feels like good weather or something, you know.
But it is his home. He's passionate about the club.
No,
he's a
definitely.
Kiwi.
Go to a beach or anything. Yeah.
And I always think like the New Zealand Warriors, they play better when they have like a good solid core of like Kiwis from. They're just playing for more.
Oh, you're talking Chance's home. I thought you were talking about Savage's home.
No, Chance's home.
Oh, I take that back.
So yeah, great signing for the Warriors. I think he'll do a great job. Thoughts on Chance to Warriors?
Like it. I've missed watching him play. I was only thinking about him the other day. I think, mate, the Warriors can do with a fucking injection.
Thinking about him, were you?
Because I was like, where's he been? And then I'm like, oh, Savage is playing.
Right, so it was in a rugby league context.
In a rugby league context.
Oh, okay.
Not as in I was thinking about him and,
A romantic.
what we could do together.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
that way.
Not in that way?
Yeah.
No.
Has that ever crossed your mind though as well? I mean, he's
No,
not
but
about
fuck, it's in the head now.
Yeah, you can't rule something like that out.
I'll think about that later.
I mean, it's obviously disappointing he's in New Zealand now. It's kind of making it tougher if you were going to, but it's still possible, right?
It's never say never.
Yeah.
That's
Technology
what I've
these days, like fuck.
Well, technology is
Well,
a
so
game
you can have a
changer.
bit of what Skype sex we're thinking.
Well, I wasn't thinking sex.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking
Well,
sex
it's
either.
Skype sex. You're obviously not.
Oh no, I just thought him. I just thought we could be friends.
Yeah, like a mate.
Oh, I thought you guys
Like we
would be
play golf together.
Well, you can't be doing
and
that
go to
over
the gym
Skype.
together.
You can't
and-
play
well, that's
fucking
exactly
golf over,
right.
so you can touch yourself.
You can
though.
play. Jesus.
Whoa!
You can play golf over VR headsets and that. You go on one of those golf things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
put
you
it-
can play Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Valet, Tiger Woods, golf.
Off the tracks.
Off the tracks. We're back on now.
Back on.
Back on. Reports that Andrew Webster is a front runner to be the Warriors coach. He's currently assistant at Penrith, was interim head coach for the Tigers 2017, and has spent time at the New Zealand Warriors. How can this help the Warriors? Honestly, and it's no disrespect to Andrew Webster, but I don't know.
Do we have enough space
this
in
the
rugby league
assistant-
for two Andrew Websters?
Yeah, look,
you know what I mean? Is
Webby's
this
gonna
game
be
big enough for
filthy.
two Webbies?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I don't know if it is. And to be honest, no disrespect to this Andrew Webster, but you're not my Andrew Webster. I've got an Andrew Webster, and
Yeah.
he fucking writes for the Herald.
I've only got one room in my mind for a Webby.
Yeah.
And it's Andrew Webster.
I don't know if they should be going to the assistant, Seraldo. You know what I mean? Like an assistant's assistant? Is that?
Is that? I mean,
Is that-
why
is
don't
that
they go
where
for
we're
you?
going?
You're Cam's assistant.
That's a
That's
good
a great
point.
point. Like you're the assistant to the assistant of the Origin side.
Yeah.
You better place than fucking an assistant to.
Maybe there's not enough room for Kemps over there, though. Maybe
Well,
said
that's true. There is
they'll be-
already a Kemp
What's
in
his,
New
is it
Zealand.
Tony Kemp?
Oh, that's you're mad dogging him now.
I swear to God,
doesn't
I'm
even
not.
know his name. What's the kid's name again?
You know
Tony.
his name.
Tony Kemp.
Okay,
I
all right.
guarantee you after that podcast, you went home and looked him
Yeah,
up.
you looked him up. You know Tony.
I'm going to get off the
Kemp.
plane. He'll be waiting for me.
Yeah,
Right, no,
you
don't
know
do that.
fucking Tony Kemp.
Um,
You're right though. There probably isn't enough room for two Kemps in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Same as there's not enough room for two Websters in rugby league.
Anyway, interesting. Very interesting. We always laugh with Michael Pryor because he's like, fucking hell, I want Adam O'Brien to get fired. We're like, mate, there's three teams that need coaches and seemingly no coaches out there. Like, you're not going to go firing someone now.
also, Michael Pride, Bruss, since he's come to the club, you've played finals footy. Before you...
the last 2 years, exactly.
Before,
He doesn't want to hear it.
You fucking... You won 3 spoons in a row or something like
He
that.
doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. I'm like, you're not going to sack a coach that's made the finals the last 2 years in the first 2 years he was at the club. It's just not going to happen.
And like he went...
It's not gonna happen.
They went spoon, 12th, 11th.
Yeah.
And then they
Finals.
went 7th.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, give the bloke a fucking fair crack.
Yeah.
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 But also in this climate, with the coaches that
A dearth of
aren't
coaches.
around,
Yeah.
but
But like, even when you actually look at Newey as a club, all of their greats have said it. their juniors have been decimated. Like Newey don't have juniors because they leave. They go like Newey's juniors are everywhere. Like you could argue Latrell's a junior, Boyd Cordner's a junior. The guy that put on 4 try assists for New South Wales under 19, he's a Newcastle. Like they just have no system there, and that's why in the press conference, Adam O'Brien was like, "There's stuff here that's going to take 10 years to fix." What do you got there, Matty?
I was just going to say, I know you'll probably shoot me down because Serraldo's the man, but Webby's like an equal assistant coach at Penrith.
Shut up. Equal assistant coach.
As in, like that's his official title. Like they're both just assistants.
They're both assistant coaches.
So when he signed his contract, it said, I want to be referred to as equal assistant.
Equal assistant.
It was a little tongue-in-cheek calling him the assistant.
Yeah.
But I think we do know how it works out there.
Well, I tell you what, but not everyone would. So, this
Matty,
goes at...
Come on.
Come on,
Easy,
Matty.
Tiger.
Come on, Matty.
Turn the mic off.
Look. Every time they're in I can imagine a world where they're doing video session, and then Serraldo gets 30 minutes, and then Webster comes in and says, "No, I want 30 minutes too." Because
I don't think
And the
Webby,
bell
no
goes,
offense.
lunchtime.
Sorry, guys.
I think the bell goes.
Yeah.
Or Ivan walks over to the wall and presses the bell. He goes, "Oh, is that time already?"
Is your name Serraldo?
No. Sorry, I don't think it is. Lunchtime. Thank you, Andrew. Oh, are you writing for the Sydney Morning Herald? No. Then get the fuck out of here.
Do you think Serraldo, while we're talking coaches, while we're yarning coaches, would go to the Dogs?
No. Or
because they're looking.
They're looking. Gus Gould, he's a convincing man, Gus Gould. I think that it would have to be a monster deal, and they have a great backing in the Laundy pub group. Shout out Locker Room Hotel. It would have to be a mammoth deal, and I think Gus would have to convince him with a roster. Like, you'd have to put a roster in front of him that would go, mate, boom, we can do whatever with it. I think he's more likely to go to the Dogs, obviously, than the Tigers, because he's already knocked that back. But even if he hadn't have knocked that back, it's a tough one. I actually like Potter at the Dogs. Like, I thought the Dogs played good on the weekend, pretty good at least. If I'm
I don't hate what I've seen from the Dogs under Potter. Absolutely not.
I tell you what though, whoever Serraldo's manager is, give him a pay rise. Is he the highest profile fucking assistant coach of all time?
Yeah.
In the history of the game, in the history of sport, you could argue.
Like
Who the fuck is this cunt?
He's fucking bigger than some head coaches.
No, definitely.
Way bigger, mate. It's not even close.
When you're thinking about it, like, tell me how many other head coaches would get offered a fucking 5-year mammoth deal at another club. Serraldo.
Exactly. It's unbelievable. I tell you who the Warriors should look at instead of Andrew Webster of
Not
assistant to an assistant and also not the journo fame. Stacey Jones.
Yeah.
Just roll out a club great. Just see off some you know what I mean? If an assistant to the assistant's your best option,
give it to the fucking Walker brothers. Give it to the Walker brothers. Give it to Ben and Shane or whatever the fuck. Ben and Shane?
I think it is Ben and Shane.
Give it to the Walker brothers.
you want to see the Walker brothers?
Fuck,
Over
you're going to
Stacey
sack
Jones?
Andrew Webster in a year anyway. Let's be honest. You sack coaches like it's fucking going out of fashion. Give these two, try something. Get a bit Moneyball about it. And by Moneyball, I just mean something out of the box, something different.
Well, they are Moneyball. That's also their approach.
Something different.
Like every play's 50-50, always short kickoffs and shit. Like they're a bit...
Get a bit...
And they're also not coaching a Queensland Club side at the moment.
So they're not coaching anyone?
No, they're not.
Get them off the couch.
Man, that
They
kind
won a
of...
comp with Ipswich like 15 years ago and no one stops talking about the Walker brothers. It's hilarious. Would you ever coach a rugby league side?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
What if the Tigers came knocking tomorrow?
Like as a G-up and we could film it?
No, as legit.
No way. No
Just
way.
to say you'd done it?
No. I'd do it as a piss take. Go in there and just play fucking footy and see if it worked, then get sacked, whatever, and film the whole thing so that I had myself covered after him go, it was all a piss take, I'm not a bad coach. But no, I would never do it. No.
Hashtag make Kempy coach of the Tigers. Leave a comment, something. Let's try and get that going. Because they haven't made a decision yet as far as I'm aware.
No chance.
Coach Kempy.
Much smarter
Hashtag
men
Coach
than
Kempy.
There's much smarter men than me that can coach.
Just go in there and just be like, just get your wingers jamming in.
Yeah, just jam in all parts of the field. Wingers jam in.
Everyone just jam in.
Just jam in.
Matter of fact, like, don't even defend outside the 20. Like the 22 lines in.
Just middle third defense.
Middle third defense.
Compressed rugby league.
Compressed rugby league, jamming in all day long.
Look, if you want to lose games, tell them to jam in. If you want to win the comp, tell them to stay on their wing. You win the comp.
Or have the entire team inside the middle third. I also like that.
Yeah, just middle third.
But they
stuff.
don't leave the middle third?
No, you do, but you're running hard to try and chase the wingers who have chosen to stay out on their wing. You know what I mean? But
I reckon you jam before the ball gets out there. You just keep jamming.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you get front rowers jamming in. Just jamming everywhere.
I like jamming in.
Yeah.
Kemp for coach, 2023.
No chance.
Kemp 23. And then we could be your assistants.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. And what,
Get
you
like a political
Omen
poster done up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Kemp
It's just
23.
Could you imagine us in the box? We're all sitting, us three at the box, like coaching a game.
Yeah.
And you've got like a fake, like
Headset
a fake computer in front of you with fake stats, and it's just omens.
Yeah. Or like omens and betting accounts open.
You've gone like, oh, you get him to score a try now.
Yeah,
Pass the ball to Mamalo.
Let's put that play on that's going to have Mamalo scoring in the corner. I've got money on it.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. Andrew Webster.
13 plus. 13 plus.
Yeah, look, all jokes aside, if you are obviously part of that Penrith setup, whatever they're doing out there, he's clearly a fucking gun coach, because even when Ivan Cleary isn't there, like not even coaching on that day, I know he'd be coaching via Zoom, etc., but Andrew Webster and Serraldo would be taking the reins, and they still roll out and play just as good. So if Webster can come to that club and implement the same systems as Penrith did, junior-wise, you know what I mean?
Didn't Phil Gould do that?
But he could look at that system and go, look, this is what worked here. Can we do it here? Like, for example, you would say Fitzgibbon. I'm sure Fitzgibbon brought a lot of things that Roosters used to do to the Sharks. Now, obviously, that you have to change things up. But like Penrith, for example, they have a big Polynesian base of young footy players that, are from Western Sydney. You go to New Zealand, you've got a huge, Māori and Polynesian base to cultivate. So if he could get that system and somehow work it out to keep those players back in New Zealand and bring them through the New Zealand side could genuinely be the best side in the competition. Like, because the young talent that they have. Imagine if every Kiwi played and stayed in New Zealand. Like how strong the side would be. I mean, look at the New Zealand national side.
Well, it'd be the New Zealand national side, and it'd be red hot.
It'd be red hot. And so
There wasn't one Warriors player in that New Zealand side.
Exactly my point. That's my point. Like, you need to get it so that you're basically got the best of the best New Zealand players staying in New Zealand. Now, I know it's not going to ever be perfect, but I just think that you need to create a way to protect yourself from being poached. Your best player is always being poached to Australia. Tough to do, but you can do it.
Well, they're going to, you hear whispers of that about them wanting to have a second team in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, I think you need to get the first one sorted.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Look, fuck. If they're going to do a second team, they need to give that second team like 4 years and two times the salary cap.
Well, they have to go an 18th team at some point.
Yeah.
They have to, because they want another game, more revenue.
North Sydney Bears, I hear they're pretty keen.
They are keen for the team in Perth. Do like a...
what was it called? Like they had a name for it, like Western Bears. Was
Western Bears,
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you in that proposal there'd be a couple of games at North Sydney Oval.
Yeah,
And then all the diehards would go down there and fucking, we did it! So, well...
You sorted it.
Sorta did it.
Now, on to eligibility. Brian To'o pledges allegiance to Samoa in the World Cup. There's a lot of debate online in the media about this. Where do we stand and what would be the best system? My personal opinion is I'm torn. I understand the kind of traditionalist angle that if you play for New South Wales, you should play for your state. But I just think that the game isn't in a strong enough position to facilitate that. And what I mean by that is that if we already had a strong international game, then we could do that. But we need to maybe sacrifice a little bit here or there to allow these players to play for their heritage or whatever, to lift the international game. We all benefit from that. Whereas, like, if we say, nah, To'o, you've got to make the decision to play for New South Wales, and pretty much you've got To'o, all four forwards could play for Samoa, so Queensland, New South Wales.
Can't Luai?
Yeah, they're like all four forwards.
Right, sorry.
Luai, Critter, To'o, Tupou. So you're looking at like a lot of players that could play for Samoa. That's just Samoa. That's not Tonga or any other players. And so I think that we keep the rules of if you've been here since you're 13 or years old or whatever it is, 13, 12 months or 11 months, sorry, and you qualify for Origin, then you should be able to play for Origin. Now that opens a can of worms. If you're a Kiwi, do you get to play? I think we may have to take the hit on that, maybe, where, look, maybe there are Kiwis playing if they have been here since they were 13 years old or whatever. Because I just think that if we force players to choose between their state and their heritage, our international game will never grow.
I can't remember how I used to feel about this, so I don't know if I've changed my mind or what.
I've changed my mind.
I talk so much shit that I just often forget whatever I've said, so I'm not someone.
You're allowed to change your mind.
I used to be a
but
traditionalist.
I'm saying I don't even fucking know. I think I was probably more of a traditionalist, but there is a part of me now that's like, and I think I heard Gus Gould say it, and I just went, you know what, it's fucking hard to argue. But if you have been in New South Wales as you're saying, for the time when that makes you eligible.
Yeah.
13, I think.
13. And you want to play for New South Wales and also play for
13 and
Samoa,
11 months,
play for
something
New
like that.
Zealand, play for Tonga, fuck it. Fuck it. You can do it.
No, I agree, because I just think when the international games, like, think about how
It doesn't mean you're
excited.
going to get picked. It just means that you can.
Think about how exciting Rugby League World Cup's going to be this year if they all play for their countries of heritage.
Exactly.
And just a question as well, or like I can't imagine it will lose anything as a game. You're still going to have the best players. In fact, maybe even better players.
As long as they've been here since they were 13,
and enough to be like, I fucking am a New South
Exactly,
Welshman as
yeah,
well as a Samoan.
exactly.
You're almost incentivizing them to really still fucking get around the state that they are from.
100%. And that's where, like, if someone said to me, anyone should be able to play New South Wales, Queensland, I'd be like, nah, that's fucking bullshit. You have to have some connection to the land, some connection to the people, and some appreciation for the opportunities you've been given in New South Wales and Queensland.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people go on about like how it was the original selection for the Australian side. I've never seen it that way.
I've never seen it
personally.
that way.
I see
neither.
State of Origin as like its own thing.
I think
over
that's an
here.
old school way of thinking,
Yeah.
to be honest.
And I like, if you grew up in that era, like, sure, but like it's not how I see it at all. So I'm not up in arms. They're like, well, Brian Turner
it's
should be
also
playing
not
for
though,
Australia.
right?
It's not,
Because-
though. Addo Carr might make the Australian side.
Yeah, so Cherry Evans though has still been the halfback, and
but when
New
they
South Wales
but when
has
they
been
say,
pounding.
Brian Turner should be playing for Australia
for sure.
because he was in the
trial.
selection
Yeah.
for fucking.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like, I don't see it that way.
No.
If you have been here long enough, like you say, to identify as being from New South Wales or Australia, Queensland, like, I think that's enough to keep the concept alive.
Yeah.
Because they're so petrified of Origin dying.
Like watering it down.
Or watering it down because no one even really knows how it works. Not fully anyway.
You can't punch on.
But I don't think that it affects anything. And also, the international game has been fucking toilet for a long time.
And it's because-
Let's not get it fucking twisted. It's been shit out.
And it's because Australia has made it that way by forcing players to fucking...
Exactly. But you can change all this by allowing them to play for other nations. Also, a strong island presence in rugby league is a very positive thing.
Like, look, think about it like this way. Like, imagine how many more Polynesian players are going to be interested in getting into rugby league if they can play Origin.
Is rugby league even the number one sport in like Tonga, or is rugby union's probably bigger?
I'd say some. Say rugby union is the biggest sport.
Do you know what I mean?
And
It's
so,
not even the biggest.
Well, like,
and look at the throbbers coming out of there now.
100%. And so, like, as a game, if we can dominate this Oceania area, we open ourselves up to millions, if not tens of millions more people as a game. So we grow as a game, whereas if we continue to go, nah, you have to play for Australia, we're destined to die as a game because it's just going to be Australia.
Exactly.
And no
right.
one cares. Like, no one cares about the international game. And you can see, though,
Well, it would
like,
just be the NFL.
but you see the people
100%.
starting to get more interested in it when you see Tonga start to rip. You know what I mean? Like, when Tonga starts to rip, they beat New Zealand, they beat Australia. I'm now, like, into watching Tonga play footy.
100%.
Well, imagine a World Cup in 20 years' time.
Yeah. And
If you
yeah.
invest in the international game,
Yeah.
like, that'd be sick,
Like,
mate.
put it this way: if Taumalolo came through the ranks and, you know, let's say he played for Queensland, New South Wales, or whatever, or even Sonny Bill Williams, we've seen pictures of Sonny Bill Williams in New South Wales kid, like as a 18-year-old or 19-year-old. Would it be that weird for us if they did it from the start? You know what I mean? Like, if from the start they were in the under-19s and then they made the under-20s and then they made... Would it be that weird to see them in that kit? Probably not. Like, we would be like, does anyone really think that SBW isn't from doesn't have a connection to New South Wales? Like, no. Does anyone think Taumalolo doesn't? I don't think so. They were both around... I'm pretty sure SBW was here when he was like 13 or 14. I know Taumalolo was here since he was 13. When you hear them talk, they sound Australian. Like, I mean, Sonny Bill has got a bit of an accent, but like Tamalolo, for example, sounds Aussie as. Like, are you telling me that he hasn't got a connection to Australia? Like, of course he does. Or to Queensland? Of course he does.
Times have changed, you know.
We have to keep moving forward.
100%. Is it 13 years, Matty? Is that the cutoff, or do they move it?
Yeah, it's 13. It's 13 because
13 and 11 months, isn't it?
It's somewhere around that because Ronnie Mulatalo was 14 just missed out.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Also, I just want to say, like, as an Australian fan, like, I watch Australia play and I enjoy it, but I don't care. If all the other teams were good and it became competitive, like, wouldn't that make Australian fans more invested?
Mean more, mate.
Well, think of it this way: like rugby union is relatively in the toilet. I get way more horny for Wallabies, like rugby union internationals, than I do rugby league internationals.
100%. I when like the World Cup of Union comes on, there's almost like an event that I'm sitting going, fuck, this is an event I can't even miss.
Game.
Even though I don't enjoy watching rugby union. Whereas the World Cup for rugby league, until Tonga came and fucking, it was good, it was great, but I'm not sitting there like
Australia just
it
won.
wasn't that good.
You know,
No,
it was
wasn't
like
that good.
Let's be honest, it wasn't that good.
So look, I think that. Okay, yes, there'll be some growing pains, and yes, but I think that once we get past that initial year or two of seeing a few Kiwis coming in and playing potentially, I think there'll be some hubbub. Some hubbub. What the fuck? What's the word? Hubbub? Is that the word?
Hullabaloo?
No, I think it's like hubbub.
Hubbub? There's hubbub. Hullabaloo.
There'll be some drama. People will complain, whinge, or whatever. 2 or 3 years.
Some hubbub, yep.
2 or 3 years.
Hubbubba?
Shout out to Hubba Bubba.
Shout out. I haven't.
chewy.
Did you used to swallow it? I did. Dumb.
No.
No.
7 years.
No, didn't swallow.
Dude, you swallowed Hubba Bubba? That was a
Yeah.
lot to swallow.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
They were big pieces.
Yeah, well, look, everyone used to tell me don't swallow it 7 years, and I was like, fuck off.
Did
I'm
you like the
swallowing it.
grape or the red or the...
I was more purple, I think.
I was pink.
Yeah.
Pink.
I like the pink, but I like the purple as well.
To be
But I
honest,
like
I
the
could
pink.
take it all.
The pink was great. You know what is great? Zappos. Oh, fuck.
We got a bunch of them at the fucking office. We just got sent
Throw
from
them
a,
out.
from a
They're
lovely
addictive. It's a temporary
Throw 'em
addiction.
out.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Dude,
no, Zappos, I chipped one of
it's
my
not
teeth
good
on
having them in
Zappos.
there.
Really?
Yeah.
We're in big trouble having
Low
them in there.
test, eh? Like when you chip your teeth on Zappo, that's low test, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think anyone would be accusing me of high test. Don't think that's an accusation getting thrown around. Not these days.
You have a beard.
No.
I do have a beard, and obviously I've got like a really big frame and everything, and I'm pretty fucking into it. But like,
Into it?
You're pretty into it.
yeah.
Into what? Your
just
big frame.
being an athlete, bro. You know what I mean? But I don't think.
But
I'm
are
high
you into
test.
your big frame?
How can you not be?
Into yourself?
Yeah. How can you not be into your big frame? Broad shoulders,
They're not that broad.
No, well, that's what someone.
They look
without
standard
shoulders would
size.
say.
Like they look symmetrical.
I wouldn't.
they're
I've
definitely
never looked at
symmetrical.
you and thought broad. That
No,
guy's
you
broad
definitely
shouldered.
have, and I get it. You don't want to admit that. I understand not wanting to admit it.
You know who has the broader shoulders in the game? Boyd Cordner. Jesus.
Does he?
Mate, just like...
Tommy's pretty broad.
Tommy
He
is
is,
broad.
when you see him in person, is way bigger than what he looks like on the
I
field.
saw him leaning at a bar, like hunched over, and I was
Huge.
like, "Holy fuck, dude!"
That when you see him in
Latrell's
person...
bigger as well.
Latrell's
Yeah.
a fucking
Way
big
taller
boy.
than I thought he was.
When you see him in person, you go, oh, that's why you're a fucking freak of nature. You know what I mean? Like, you are as big as a front rower, but you move like a fucking 85 kilo back. It's crazy. Like, sometimes, like, watching Latrell, when he just, like, turned it on and bumped Reed Marnie, you were like, oh,
That's right.
that's right. You're a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You are a motherfucker.
Yeah, you're a bad man.
Bad man.
Yeah, so look, I understand the traditionals' point of view. I honestly think probably 12 months ago I would have felt this. I did feel the same way. I was like, nah, being from Queensland, it matters to me that you have a deep connection to being from Queensland. But I also think that we are only hurting ourselves as Queenslanders if we don't try to grow the international game.
So just fact checking a few things from before.
Yep.
Yes, it's before your 13th birthday. That's what
13th birthday.
Yep, 13th birthday.
Okay.
Tamalolo moved here, but he was 13, and Sonny Bill was roughly 16.
Okay, so Sonny Bill couldn't have. So, see, I'm cool with that then. Like,
So what? Tamalolo moved out. He missed out technically by a
Yeah.
couple of months.
Yep.
I thought it was when you were just before 14, because didn't Mulatalo miss out by like half a year or some shit?
Yeah, it says on this, and this is on NRL.com on the eligibility rules
It's
PDF.
13.
Have you resided in New South Wales or Queensland since prior to your 13th birthday?
Okay, so it's prior to 13. See, I'm happy with that. That's pretty good.
In all
happy with
honesty, right now that the rules are like concrete, it's 13. How many of the 8 in a row do you think you wouldn't have won if Greg was playing for New South Wales? Like,
Legitimately, I reckon we still would have won
You reckon 8 in a row? No way.
Let me finish what I'm going to say.
Okay.
We still would have won maybe 3, max 4, but I do think that Hughes would have absolutely chopped that.
Yeah.
Probably in half.
Because he would have also had Folau as well, who was born in fucking Minto, but whatever.
Because
he's neighbours with fucking
and the reason
Jared
why,
Hay.
Yeah.
and the reason why is because like Greg Inglis literally won us a few series.
He's also the highest try scorer in the history of Origin.
Yeah. So I think we still would have been dominant, but he would have done something crazy to probably win maybe 3 out of that 8. 3 max, I think.
Darius probably wouldn't have scored as many tries either. So you take off all of Greg's tries, then half of Darius's. And we're basically
Well,
fucking
would Darius have played Origin with that, Greg?
8 in a row for us.
I think he debuted, not before, but like
Quick
on not
question.
his edge.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah, I'm glad we cleared it up. I personally think that Latrell should be kicked out of the game of rugby league for ruling himself out of Origin. I think that's one of the more disgraceful displays of just arrogance that I've ever seen.
Well, you know what I found shocking about it, Tom? Is that he would assume that he would be in the side.
Or
what's he done?
But also, or assume that he'd even be in the conversation like he wasn't being spoken about every week. Like, it's just weird that he would insert himself into a conversation that he was in no way involved in. Like, no one was talking about him in Origin, so I don't understand what the fuck he thought he was doing.
Mate, it's as if he's pretending like he's one of the best fucking players the game's ever seen.
Yeah,
Do you know
or
what
like
I mean?
that he's won back-to-back premierships, played for his country, played for his state, and done it all. Like by the age of 23
and
or
at the
whatever.
position of centre, it's almost as if he assumes that at centre he'd be the best in the world.
It's
which
almost
is madness.
but it's almost like he's come back from 12 weeks out of the game and basically buried Reid Marnie into the earth just through the power of his hips, set up a try and beat the Eels when his team sucks.
And kicked his dick off.
It almost just that he thinks that he's
You
like
know what?
fucking above the game.
It's almost like he was a huge reason for a record margin pounding us into the earth last year.
No, it's
Which is
complete nut of
bizarre.
madness.
It's disgraceful. Get that fucker out of the game. I'm sick of it.
You know what? Disgraceful is the right word. His behaviour is fucking disgraceful. It really is.
And also, like,
How dare he rule
also
himself
him
out?
like bigging up the players that are currently there and sort of telling it, just saying that he thinks that they should be given another shot to keep playing. Like, being respectful to players currently in the job and probably giving a boost of confidence to someone like Crichton, who didn't have the greatest game too, but he's finding his feet at Origin
And he's
level.
also best mates with Jack Whiten.
And now he's getting a fucking,
Yeah.
So he's best mates with Jack Whiten, but then backs Critter anyway because he's putting the state first.
Showing class.
He wishes Burton all the best.
Yeah.
What a
Pulls himself
fuckwit.
out. What a fuckwit.
What
And
a
then
fuckwit.
Mayo Man he did it best. He's like, it's just I don't like the idea that he's ruling himself out because it gives other players, it's like a loophole. They can just rule themselves out too. So what? So you're saying that you've got a problem that he ruled himself out because other players are going to rule themselves out of Origin, as if that's going to be like some sort of systemic
Origins
problem.
going to start fucking.
Do you know what I mean?
Rule himself out of
How many
Origin.
players are going to start going? I don't want to play Origin.
I don't want
Do you
$30,000.
reckon?
I don't want to go. I
don't want that.
I don't want to
cash.
achieve a childhood dream, and I don't want $30,000.
As if
Or
that's going
to
to be a
bump up
problem.
what I can ask for in just a contract generally.
Yeah, 100%. And even what's crazier, if Latrell plays and plays poorly, guess who's writing the article? Latrell was selfish to play Origin. He should have fucking.
Yeah.
He wasn't fit.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't
ready.
up to it.
He wasn't
It was
up to it.
underdone.
That was crazy. I was like, mate, the poor fella can't win. He literally comes out, selfless act,
Yeah.
still getting peppered.
I love it on NRL 360. I think Kenty was like, who's going in for the kill? He goes to Brandy like, was he even in the conversation? Like, was he even going to get selected? And Brandy goes, well, in truth, Freddie was going to call him just to see where he was at and where he thought his body was at, and then he ruled himself out, so we didn't have to do that. So
he was. and Freddie came out.
So don't fucking. Of course, was he in the conversation? He was in every conversation you fuckers were having.
Yeah, 100%. Fucking hell. And Freddie did come out and he said, I'm not like I'm grateful, but he said like it saved a lot of sleepless nights for him. And what else did he say?
I'd love the idea of Freddie just not being able to sleep though. Fuck, Trell bumped Reid Marnie off.
And it's just like Trell's highlights on the roof
Yeah.
and a projector.
I'd lose sleep.
in the pouring rain, he was very good.
So silky. Fuck. I honestly cannot remember a man as big as him with his softer hands.
He was very good. That's
Fucking
sleepless nights right there.
Yeah, that
Going,
is.
holy fuck, this guy's only played one game. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
So good. He's
But then
so
he rules
good.
himself out because he's all class, and
He's
that's
a
just
fuckwit.
not good enough.
No, he's a fuckwit.
Yeah. It's like some people.
That poor bastard cannot win.
No.
He cannot win. There were some people in the comment section that were genuinely saying that Freddie lied about not having spoken to him before. So they were saying Freddie had called him, said, mate, you're not getting selected, but just tell everyone that you're ruling yourself out. They genuinely thought that. Like, so Freddie lied, Latrell lied.
What a waste of energy to even to just allow that to pontificate in your brain. Like, what do we?
It's like what? So Freddie, he's okay with dropping Josh Addo-Carr, but he's too scared to drop Latrell Mitchell. Not even drop, but not select Latrell Mitchell after being out for 12 weeks.
Whilst also not selecting Jack White, who was man of the match game 1.
Yeah, like
Freddie's dropped Latrell before.
I know. It's mental.
He made the big call. Have we all forgotten about that?
And it was like World War III.
That was like one of the big calls all time, and he made it. So I don't think he'd be that worried about picking a one game after 12 weeks out Latrell. Like
when you've got two centres that absolutely fucking killed it.
They were just tying themselves a notch,
Trell's
bro.
a fuckwit, mate. I'm over it. I'm over it. Kick him out of the game.
But I tell you what, can I be honest? I'd have picked him.
Would you?
Oh, fuck yeah. I would have picked him.
Yeah, I would have picked him.
Yes, he's
I
got
would've
it.
picked him, bro.
Yeah, game 3 running out, magic
At
about
Suncorp,
him.
just go and fuck the lottie up.
Gagai shit in his pants already, just generally as an Origin player. Like Gagai in the final throes of his Origin career. He comes out and just puts a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably misses 18 in game 3.
Well, I
He's
was
missed
gonna
18
say,
across the series. It'd be 18 missed in game 3.
Let's make it 18-1.
Yeah.
36 total.
Do you know what's crazy? Is I'm pretty sure.
The Gagai can't tackle anymore.
Oh, anyway, I won't say it because it's bagging someone else. Don't. Yeah, look.
Go on, bag
No, don't do it.
Nah.
Go on, bag him, mate.
Latrell, though, in Suncorp and Decider, he looked fit, man. He did look fit
as well.
Like, he didn't look like he was gassed at the end of the game or taking easy options.
On a heavy track.
Very heavy track. Silky as he's ever been. Bumping blokes. When he did that, you're just like, oh, okay.
So horny, dude.
Oh, fuck. That's rugby league mouthful right
Yeah,
there.
it is. It brings you to completion.
But now that he's ruled himself out, selfishly, we can move forward with purpose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if we lose, we blame Trell, I think.
Oh, yeah. You
Well,
blame
you
Trell.
sell the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Set the tempo.
Do you reckon there is a chance?
I guarantee you that if we lose, it'll be mentioned in an article.
Saying like Latrell shouldn't have been selfish and he should have played.
No, it just would have been like,
The problem with players ruling themselves out.
yeah.
We would have won with Trell played.
Yeah.
That will be all time if they do. Origin changes.
Or it
Freddie
brought
shouldn't have
unnecessary
allowed him to-
attention on the side.
Oh, that, yeah, okay, yep.
There's a couple of ways to spin it.
Now, Origin changes. Haas ruled out for McLean comes in. Thoughts on this McLean coming in?
To be honest, I didn't really see it coming.
No.
If I'm completely
I feel
honest.
like Regan, Campbell, Gillard, who obviously didn't like kill it in game 1, but I just sometimes don't entirely understand how like he can be game 1. He can be the fucking starter in game 1 and now not even in the conversation for game 3 when Haas is out. I don't get that entirely.
I will say, Freddie's like selection process, I don't understand.
No, it's a bit sporadic.
But it fucking works. Do you know what I mean? Clearly.
Well,
It doesn't
didn't
work
always
game
work.
1.
Didn't work in game 1.
yeah.
Like Jake, just like we're not like
Didn't work game 3 last year.
you know, there's no room
like-
for Jake anymore. But now he comes back and now he's starting.
And he's like the heart of the
RCG
side.
was
Yeah.
in the side and now he's out of the side completely. McLean, who was in no one's radar, I haven't heard him mentioned. And then
Well,
he
he
gets
was in the
picked.
squad, I think, for game 2.
So Freddie has come out and said basically when you look at the stats of games is you look what McLean has done and that's kind of why he got selected. And it's what we talked about on Monday. Like he's arguably the best defensive front row in the game right now, or at least one of it.
Is the stats side of things sort of how he picked in game 1 a little bit though? Where it was like, good club form, and then he went away from that game too. I was
Mate,
like, fuck it, get Jake in there.
Honestly, and this is like not me having a crack at all because I actually think his method to madness works, but I honestly do not know how Freddie comes to his decisions.
Do we think it could have something to do with the fact that he's a real barefoot operator, a Byron Bay sort of selector
Vibe.
where
It feels a bit like that because, you know, loyalty here, no
Psilocybin
loyalty
selection.
there. You know, we're dropping this bloke after a game, but then picking this other bloke who wasn't in any sort of selection conversation.
we're
at the start of
loyal,
the
so we
series.
keep Tarek, but then
I
we're not
don't-
loyal, so we don't bring Josh.
I
Addo-Carr.
don't know.
But you would have to say
But
it's worked,
The
though.
reality is this: if we win game 3, we've won 4 out of 5 series.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
if we lose it, it's 3-2. You start going, Jesus, like, is
with
that
our
a great
team, we
account of
probably
ourselves?
should have fucking.
Like,
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Like, put it this way. So, 2 years ago, you had the worst Origin side of all time.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it was fucking pretty close.
Yeah.
Last year was our best ever.
Yeah.
To this point, after 8 games, it's 4-all.
That's a good point. I'm looking at more like from a perspective.
How do I
of,
feel about that?
Yeah.
Well, I need to win. I need to win this fucking series for me to feel great about it.
Because I'm looking at from the perspective of you go 4 from 5. Like you go 4 from 5. Like
We haven't gone 4 for 5 though.
you're right. You're totally right. It's a great point. Like if you go 3 from 2, I actually think you've missed a massive opportunity to pound us into the earth. Because now, even if we win this series with all these young fellas with a year of fuck under their belt, that gap between arguably one of the best fucking teams ever assembled, the next year gets shorter and shorter. You know what I mean? Like Nanai gets another year on his belt. Tommy Dearden keeps playing really well. You got Paddy Carrigan, who was still young.
Throbbo.
You got Throbbo, another year on his belt. Taulagi, another year under his belt.
Michael Pride on About Even does a very interesting balls deep around Origin coaches and like their success and their win rates based on
Points differential.
So go and don't want to give it away, but check it out because it sort of it a little bit speaks to what we're talking about. But it's just
It's on today that you did it.
Yeah.
So
it's
watch
on
it
today. So it'll be
later
on YouTube this evening.
So watch that's on Hello Sports YouTube.
Yes, but it is interesting. And then when we're sort of looking at it from the context of like 3 from 2, 3-2 as opposed to 5 or 4 from 5.
There's a big fucking difference between 4 from 5 and 3 from 2 with the side we've had and the side you've had. Because you've been in a big rebuild. Like Freddie came in when fucking Cooper had gone, Cam had retired, Billy was like sort of there, sort of not. Like full changing of the guard.
Yep.
Like some of the sides you've rolled out in the last 4 years have been.
Well, even now, our depth is like when you look at your
personification of poo.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you look at our depth compared to
There's
your
been a couple
depth.
of blokes there that we won't name, but
Like
Jesus.
your depth is crazy strong.
Mariana Trench deep right
Like
now.
super. Whereas our depth, like you wouldn't even. The only person you could replace, say DC for example, is Benny Hunt, and he's already tried to play 7 at Origin, hasn't gone that great. Now I still think he'd do a job.
That's pretty good depth though there in the 7 because then
but
you've just
he's
got
in the side already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like you guys have guys like Mitch Moses, you've got Whiten that come in at 6, you've got Hines that could come in at 7, you've got Reynolds that could come in and play.
I actually would argue that your 7 depth is better.
You reckon?
Like, as in, if you lose DCE and then Hunt, I think he's a better option than us having Moses in.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? And Hines as well?
Oh, no, Hines maybe a little bit. But, like, Ben Hunt, just such a proven Origin player already that even, like, just having him in there
He
at
has
7.
struggled. He hasn't won a series at 7, though. He has struggled at 7.
How many full series has he had at 7?
I think he had the one, and then DCE was bought in the last game, like 2018 maybe.
So he hasn't necessarily had, like, the team being his at 7, but he's
true.
fucking ripped
Yeah,
at
for
Origin
sure.
level.
You know what? I'll pay that.
Is he playing for his career, Cherry Evans?
I think he's under pressure for sure because, like, okay, he came in the last game 2018, but outside of that, he's only won, I think, 1 series in the last 3. So if you're the captain and we've gone 4 from 5, even though I think it would be tough call on DCE because I think attacking wise he's outstanding. It's just maybe defensively sometimes he can lapse a little bit. I would, probably.
Do you reckon they reckon if Queensland lost 2006, then like Sivan Sivo and Lockyer and shit will get in the boot?
But
100%.
Isn't that wild?
They were. Lockyer was nearly gone. He got like, mate, if you don't pull it in, you're fucking gone skis, and that's what turned everything around.
But I don't know whether you've like. Do you think that Dearden and Sam Walker are better than Cherry Evans?
Well, I think you'd go Benny Hunt. I think you'd go Benny Hunt. Yeah. Again, like I'm like, please don't make me like I think DCE has been like deserves to be fucking dropped tomorrow or whatever. I just think when you're at Origin level, even if you're one of the goats like a Lockyer or Thurston, the pressure if you are the captain is so high. Like, remember Cam Smithy was telling us about when he first got named captain, and he said it was like the only time he was shitting himself, going, "Oh my god, like I'm actually going to be captain." You know, a funny story. We always joke about it. So the year that I could have been selected for Origin, Darren Lockyer wrote an article saying like, "Denon, most improved player of the Broncos, rah rah," and who knows, he could play Origin this year. And at the time, he was the captain of the Origin side.
Oh shit!
He gets injured. Cam Smith becomes captain, and so there's like I always joke to Smithy that he cost me my Origin career because like maybe Lockyer as a captain would have said, "Nah, bring Denon in."
Bring Campy in.
And so Smithy was captain that year.
Did Smithy ever say like that your name came up in conversation? He was like, nah.
He never said. He just laughs about it. But
Yeah, but you're probably holding back a secret. Get a couple of beers in and you might tell you the truth.
But yeah, so yeah, I just think with the nature of the beast and how like any Queensland team that loses 4 out of 5, you have to start looking at the top and going, are you the guy to take us forward? Not to say whether he can or can't, but I do think the question will be asked. Even guys like, if we lose this series, would you argue Papali'i might be pressure?
Yep. Well, I thought he's the one that's been the most talked about in terms of being under pressure.
Yeah, even
there's articles like he's playing for his career.
Yeah, which
Gagai, if he gets pounded again.
Look, I don't agree with that, but I can see where people are coming from. Like 18 missed tackles is pretty fucking hectic.
It's a lot.
There's
no hiding from the fact that that's a lot.
100%. So I can understand. Look, I think he's done enough to earn the spot again. Well, it depends how he goes game 3. If he misses another 7 or 8 tackles, then you're going, oh shit. And especially when you've got like Hamiso in the wings waiting and did a good job game 3 last year. So look, I just game 3 is going to be fucking. Oh, we haven't even done any of the ads or whatever. Bloke in a Bar beer is in every single Liquor Legends. Every single Liquor Legends. Go to liquorlegends.com.au. Type in your postcode. It will show you your nearest stockist. Have we even done the intro?
We were doing pre-show, and then you just went straight into Reece Walsh. You didn't even say welcome.
All right, welcome to Bloke in a Bar.
I'm here with the great Hello Sport. Make sure to follow Hello Sport on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to the Hello Sport podcast.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you so much.
Liquor Legends. Bloke in a Bar Midi is in every single Liquor Legends in New South Wales, ACT, Queensland, Victoria. And Bloke OG is in every single Celebrations, Bottle Oak, Portals Liquor and IJ Plus Liquor in New South Wales and ACT. We've also got a store locator on our website. Go to blokeinabar.com, you put in your postcode, it will show you your nearest stockist. We are all across Queensland, we're all across New South Wales, we're all across ACT, and we're also in Victoria as well. And I will be out the front of Suncorp Stadium, most likely the Caxton Street side, doing a show with NRL and TikTok, competitions, interviewing fans, Queensland, New South Wales, doing competitions against each other, giving away prizes to the winner. Also, I'll be interviewing you live on the NRL stream. Come down and say hi before Origin Game 3, the decider. I will be there. Anyway, let's get back to the show.
Now's probably a good time to just throw in just a little bit of news. The rumours gone around is that Reece Walsh will swap for Tamara Martin. So Martin will go to the Warriors. That's what Buzz Rothfield is tweeting. And this isn't really news, but Munster's obviously under an injury cloud, but he's been cleared in the last hour to play Origin.
Okay. Yeah, look.
Just getting that. I actually thought they might mind game that a little bit more. Just sort of like flesh it out. Is he going to play? Is he not?
Yeah,
Is he going to play? Is he
yeah.
not? They're just going, fuck it, he's playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a game day. It's a game day decision. It's a game day.
Munster's
That's
got a
what
heavy
I saw.
cold.
And you know what? I would have liked that.
Yeah, a bit of narrative.
I fucking love that drama. Is he playing? Is he not? That shit
There's
gets
a
me
bug that
going.
swept through the camp, 12
Fucking
players.
And there's like helicopters flying over the training session going, Munster was there.
Is that him playing? Like, that's what I like. They put tents up, he trains underneath them. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Missed a trick there, Billy.
No, I'll speak to Cam. I'll get that message across.
Okay.
I say, look, I'll throw a sickness in there, or one of the boys go
you
down.
can put a sickness in
Throw
there.
a sickness in
There's
there.
always bugs going around.
Yeah, bugs going around.
If you
Origin
can
time.
get one of them to say that one of the players has hand, foot, mouth, then we know that you've put it in, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Try and
dude. Get it off his kid. Hand, foot, and mouth.
Hand,
Will
foot,
he
mouth
play?
off his kid. Will he play?
Will he play covered in boils?
What are you guys' thoughts? And seriously, and then obviously, you can joke if you want.
Okay.
No, mate, we don't joke here.
We've
What the
never
fuck?
joked.
What are you talking
Sorry.
about?
It's
Stop.
highly offensive.
Thoughts on, as Manly fans, you would like DCE sometimes in defence. He can turn in, out, all that kind of stuff.
Trying to get us to fucking talk shit about
not trying to get you to talk
seriously
shit.
here. Bash him.
Sometimes he's been known to miss a tackle.
Yes.
But he makes up for it in other ways.
100% he does. Totally agree.
That's what I'll say.
But do you see, as New South Wales fans, to put Nanai, DCE, Gagai, Cobbo, is that somewhere you're like, I think we could fucking rip that
There's some
side?
missed tackles in that edge.
I think there's some mixed tackles there, and I see New South Wales trying to exploit it. That's what I see.
Can you see Billy pulling a fast one and putting an arrow there at the last minute? Just to toughen her up on the edge, though?
I think it would be in his best interest to do so.
He could do it. Billy's obviously clearly not up to coaching.
Are
He got
they?
pounded
Do you
last
think?
game.
Do
I
you
don't know
think?
if Billy
Do you think
sees
Billy's going to say, "Don't stop rushing up"? Do you think the rushing up thing's going to be like?
I think
it worked in the first game, didn't work in the second.
Yeah, look.
Are you going like rush Nathan again?
Well, it's
do you
hard to
reckon
say
you
because it was
burn?
working. And then we
But then it
gassed.
didn't.
Yeah, but we gassed. Like it was working for 50 minutes.
Well,
We
but it didn't
scored
work.
off one of it.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Burton's
But
try
yeah,
came
Burton's-
off your
exactly.
rusher.
Yeah, but if you're going to do a big play like that, we will take, like, if you're going to score off a big play like that, Queensland will take that. Like, if you need a huge play like that to score, but it's when you're just putting it through the hands and going through the middle where you're going, no, that's not good enough. Like, but if you can, as a defensive side, if you can do something amazing to score, good on you. Well done.
It might also be, raucous crowd, can't hear anything, fucking pressure. Like, the game's going to be completely different in a week's time.
Oh my God.
It won't be recognisable compared to
will be-
game 2.
Imagine the noise just.
We got to get to that game.
We're going.
Yeah. Corporate box. If you got a corporate box, just let us know. But also tickets, we're still waiting. There's a few dribblers that have reached out, but then they go quiet. We don't know exactly what that's about.
Well, one hasn't.
Well, that's true. One guy. We might have got something sorted out, but we're not 100%.
But assume we haven't.
Yeah.
Just so we have options.
Okay.
Reach out with corporate boxes and limousines.
And private jets.
And a appearance fee.
Yeah.
Pay us to take your tickets.
And I'll listen.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. We're not cheap. Our appearance fee has been described by some as hefty.
Yeah. Girthy.
It's a girthy fee.
We got a girthy appearance.
Yeah, it's a girthy fee. But it won't be disappointing.
No.
You always deliver.
Yeah.
Now, will they need to take a mortgage out to do that? Maybe.
Well,
It's not up for me to
No.
assume whether a mortgage will be required or not. For
Can
some
you
it would
afford
be.
the girth?
Yeah. Girth doesn't disappoint. Know that.
Never.
But it costs.
Foran turns back the clock against the Storm.
We're going to miss him so much next year. We're going to miss him so much. And I saw that. We obviously Manly pumped the Storm. It was comprehensive and we were never looking like we weren't going to win that game. But Foran, I just fucking don't know whether we should have let him go.
Yeah.
Just what are we doing? Just hold on to him. He's fucking good. He's class. He's
I don't
class as
know.
fuck. Stay.
I love Kieran Foran.
I love
Our
him.
love affair for him knows no bounds. He just does the tough stuff. He gets the boys around the park. He's a calm hand, a calming influence. And I just wonder, is Josh a bit green? You know what I mean? Like him offside off one of the kickoffs late in the game. I'm like, Josh, what are you doing? Got to be better than that. Like, this isn't about Josh. I'm just saying,
Josh,
a couple more
with a couple
seasons
more seasons
under
the belt.
the old bull.
Yeah.
Is that good for his development? I think it probably is.
His game, Foran's game management's good. It's like he's an old head. He's handsome as well. Like I just fucking.
But also, I worry about Kieran because he plays awful football away from the peninsula. You know,
He doesn't play good at all.
he hates
He
it.
might be the worst rugby league player in the comp, not at Manly.
Mate, seriously.
And
Like,
that's no disrespect
you
to
get
him.
the moment he crosses the Spit Bridge, he falls apart. Falls apart the same.
Well, not in Manly colours.
Like he was going away game.
If it's an away game, he's
That
fine.
doesn't count.
I didn't. He threw that in.
Well, I had to clarify.
No, when he leaves, when he goes over the Spit for the last time on his way out,
He's got like the U-Haul
He
behind
leaves
him
his talent at Brookie.
in the house.
his spirit won't cross.
No, his spirit-
unless he's on the team bus.
Yeah.
So do you reckon he goes, "Oh, Dale, did you leave the iron on?" And she goes, "Oh, did you leave your talent behind?"
You left your spirit at home.
His spirit, literally, you can watch it like.
It's pinned to the peninsula.
I think he's
unless
going to be great at
it's
the
in a team
Titans.
bus.
I think he's going to be great at the Titans. Gold Coast is just a better version of Manly.
Titans suck.
Yeah, but Gold Coast is living like
God, please.
No, it's not.
No, it doesn't, dude.
God. Here we go.
Fucking hell.
Gold Coast is a much better place to live than
Wait,
Manly.
so you go to the beach and then fucking it gets to midday and
Get on
it's
it.
shaded already. You know what I mean? Sun just behind the fucking
Towers.
skyscrapers
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
beach.
Yeah, because there's only one beach in the Goldie.
Yeah, literally. And it's in shade
Yeah.
basically all day round.
Coldest beaches on the planet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're freezing.
Freezing
I actually
cold.
think Foran will kill it in the Titans. He's exactly what they need.
But look, if I'm looking at what's happened in the past,
He's a different man now.
yeah, but he's at the Titans.
I think he's going to do good things at the Titans. I really, really do.
It's hard to polish a turd. That's all I'll say.
I will say, though, I agree with you. I would have liked to see him at least one more year.
Seriously.
One more year at the
You
Manly.
know, I could have done two.
Two?
I would have taken one.
I would have let him just fucking play out his career.
And then Tom and I'd chair him off the ground. That's how I saw it finishing.
Well, he would have wanted us to have chaired him off as well. Like if their club gives him that option, who do you want to carry?
two
off
more
the ground?
years, 2 more rings at least, possibly 3, and then we'll chair him off.
And then Tom and Eddie carry you off the field.
That would have
I mean,
been
what
nice.
better way to finish your career?
Okay.
But I wish him all the best. Just saying. I
think it'll be missed massively by Manly. Massively.
Yeah.
That's the salary cap, I guess. That's a salary cap. I guess. Let's talk about one of the all-time performances, boys.
Of all time.
Literally all time. We're talking Alec Volkanovski.
Yep.
Alex Volkanovski versus Holloway.
Bruh.
That was the fuck. You know, I was always like Volkanovski wasn't giving the fuck you to the greater UFC community who doubted him. It was more to Tom.
He walked
his
out.
old mate.
You're welcome.
He walked out and he was like, I don't care about them, but I know about you boys. I know about you boys.
You know what Wayne Bennett, master coach, talks about? Sometimes you got to give them a little bit of something. You know, did you see what this guy said about you? You see what they said about you in the papers? It's fucking motivation.
Yeah.
External motivational factors. I did it and am I part of the victory? Yes, I'll take it. I don't want it to be about me. It's got to be about Volk.
Do you feel less Australian for what you've done?
No, not at all. I feel more Australian.
Because I feel like you have disgraced the country.
No, I haven't. No,
the punters and dribblers were into him.
Like one of the great Australian athletes and you're picking against him? Mm-hmm. That's disgusting.
Is he our greatest fighter ever?
Well, he's
Mate,
the greatest.
you know what?
Fighter ever.
No, but I'm saying just generally as a fighter.
Because you could argue he's the greatest lightweight ever. Probably, yeah.
What's ridiculous? I was saying this before. No,
yeah,
but he's not getting even close to the plaudits that he deserves for that performance in Australia. Like, I mean, even overseas, but they're talking about him pound for pound and like all that shit over
even overseas.
But like in Australia, we celebrate people who are doing it on the world stage. It's like no one fucking knows. Like no one talks about him.
It's not enough.
Not enough.
That's what I mean. Like the news and shit. It should be like what he did on the weekend was as close to like the greatest fucking performance you've ever seen.
Yeah. Sunday about 145.
It was honestly one of the greatest title performances I've seen. I think it's better than McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez.
100%.
Well, because it's Holloway was.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And a lot of people think Conor McGregor's flawless performance against Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez is a good fighter, really good fighter. But he's nowhere.
Hall of Famer.
He's nowhere near Max's level.
No.
Alex Volkanovski bashed like Holloway. It wasn't even close. And what was doing my head is the commentators kept going, "Oh, Max doesn't look right." No.
Dude, that was doing my head in as well. I couldn't get over it. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Show some respect to what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You're seeing greatness, and all you keep talking about is Max doesn't look right. He doesn't look right.
He's getting fucked up.
Because Volkanovski's footwork was fucking perfect.
The way he was in and away, like he was just
they're like,
bang, bang, bang.
And they're like, I can't believe Max isn't pressing. I'm like, look at his face, bro. Pressing, every time he tries to go in, he gets fucking pieced up.
Absolutely pieced off. And like just like the when you're like in boxing and obviously MMA, you kind of like fight in lanes. So like if I'm in front of someone and I move back straight, it's very easy for them to hit me. So you never always go back. You always go back and angle off. The amount of times that like they kept saying like Holloway is slower than Volkanovski. Yeah, to a degree, but it was Volkanovski's incredible footwork where every time Holloway would come to strike him, he would step out and away so that like Holloway is on that lane and I'm on this lane. And so if you're on this lane, you can't actually hit me with any force. And so he would just lead himself open. Like for example, that big overhand right, if you go back and watch it, Volkanovski is literally can't be hit whilst landing the biggest hit possible on Holloway. And that's all footwork and timing. Like that obviously is speed, but it also mainly is footwork and timing. You need to be able to position yourself so that you can hit and not get hit. And he did it all fight long.
But you think you're like if you watched that fight and you didn't know who Max Holloway is, you'd be like, this guy fucking sucks.
This guy's a bum.
It's like it's the two best fighters in their division, two all-time greats in their division fighting when they're both in their prime, and Volk just fucked him up.
At one
point,
point,
closed the book on that trilogy.
Closed. It's all over.
Finally.
At one point, he was landing at like 57% of significant strikes.
Mate, honestly.
Almost fucking 6 out of 10 significant strikes landing flush.
So Volks has come out and said what happened in fight 2. So fight 2, the day of the fight, USADA woke him up 4 hours before his wake time. So it's like, let's say you have 8 hours of sleep and you get woken up in the middle, so right in the fucking middle, to do a drug test on the day of the fight. So he got woken up in the middle of his fucking sleep on the day of his fight, tried to do a piss, couldn't. Then he couldn't go back to sleep, so he took melatonin tablets to go back to sleep.
Well, no, he had to start pounding water so he could piss.
So he
was bloating himself.
Bloating himself on the day of the fight, took melatonin tablets because he couldn't sleep. So in the fight, he was all groggy and shit from the tablets. And that's the reason why he was nowhere near as sharp. Like, if you actually go back and watch fight one, I personally believe it was nearly a shutout. Maybe 4-1. Like, when he was 100% fit in that first fight, he picked him apart, in my opinion. The second fight was extremely close. I still think Volks just edged it out with the wrestling. I felt he won rounds 3, 4, and 5.
I backed you in that fight, Volk, just so you know.
And then you lost faith.
Did you back him in the first one?
I did back him in the first one.
Okay. It's 2-1.
Exactly, mate.
2 backings, 1 non.
2 backings, 1 not. And look, I'm disappointed that I didn't do it this one because of how fucking good it was.
What was disappointing about this, I think, more than the other two, is A, you didn't back him. B, he fucked him up and to put the trilogy to sleep. And 3, we were like best mates now.
I know we are. But
that was what was disappointing. Like, we became mates and you turned your back on him. As opposed to, like, you didn't know him. You you could have. It would have been more sense if you backed him when you didn't know him.
I was still going for him, but it was in the hunting of units, So, like, over in the Hello Sport world, I'm all fucking Volt. But then when in the gambling game...
But ask yourself who got the units. I got the units. Backing him.
Because you backed your boy.
Yeah.
You backed your boy.
So I got the units. So he was hunting for him.
Yeah.
I deserved it. I deserve what I got. I deserve what I got, and I apologise. Can I apologise? Do we forgive?
Apologise to...
Do we forgive in this fucking world? I'm sorry,
apologise to
Volk.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Volk, I'm sorry.
Got nothing to do with me.
Do you ever forgive? Do you ever fucking make mistakes? You pieces of shit. Volk lost to a crane operator once, and then he made a mistake, and then he got better. I want to meet that crane operator. He's the only
but it
guy
was
that's
at
ever beaten
170. He was literally fighting like fucking 20 kilos up.
Whereas he was coming down from being a fucking front row.
Yeah, pretty much. He was just at a stage where he would have fought anyone. His only loss is at 170. He's fucking 5'7" or some shit.
How do you think you would go against Oliveira if that fight's made?
A lot of them say, it was interesting because a lot of people are saying, like, no, fuck that. There are still people in featherweight division coming through that he should fight, as well as talking to how congested and fucking weird lightweight is at the moment.
But if he wants to go up...
Yeah, but they were saying more like just because he wants to doesn't necessarily... The UFC, it's not like a fait accompli where the UFC is going to go, like, yeah, we'll just put you in.
Yeah, see, the argument, like, he hasn't cleaned out the roster. Like, you could make that argument about everyone because there's always new people being usually put into that top 4 or 5 position. He's obviously beat Aldo. Aldo is no longer in that. He's gone down a weight. Rodriguez is fighting Ortega. Rodriguez lost to Holloway, so you could argue, well, if you can't beat Holloway, how's he going to beat Max? He's already beat Ortega.
Korean
Zombie is beaten. Emmett.
That was so unfair.
Josh Emmett's on a 5-fight win streak. I think Rory Allen's on a 6-fight win streak. There's that Bryce Mitchell guy coming through. Again, they're not necessarily
against
people
2 though. Those 5-fight win streaks are like fucking...
Correct.
Bottom of the fucking entry-level shit.
But I guess...
Has Emmett beaten anyone close in the top 5?
Who's in the top 5 of the featherweight division? Like, so who... Or the top 10? Top 10.
The featherweight? Oh, I couldn't tell you.
So it's obviously like it's Volk, Holloway, Ortega. Then you'd have Rodriguez, you'd assume. Fucking... Emmett, Mitchell... Rory, like, there's just, if you think about the division, again, I'd love to see him go fight lightweight. I just heard this explained on fucking, might have been Ariel or it might have been another one.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. But Emmett doesn't deserve a title shot. Like, he's beaten no one in the top 5.
Right, but do you think Cannonier deserved one off the back of getting fucked up by Whitaker and then winning a couple of fights? Or
but there's just Zombie? No one else to fight there.
Korean Zombie deserve a title
Korean
fight?
Zombie was a pad while they waited for fucking...
Right, but that's
Max
what I mean.
And that was because Max fell out,
There are examples in all divisions where you're like, this guy, is he is it the hype title fight, or is it like, well, they're in the top 5 or the top 10 and like that's where they're... Pereira was fighting fucking Strickland, who's 5 or 6, and he was in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it does happen.
100% does happen. I just think that like Emmett still needs to fight. Like if Emmett comes out and beats like Ortega or something like that, then you could make, for sure. Like I think that Volks could probably fight him. But like right now, as we stand, I don't think anyone in that top 5 deserves a title shot. That's where, and you've got a vacant belt at the top. And like this is what we're all about. It's prize fighting. Like even if he loses, okay, fair enough. But like let's do it. Let's have a bit of fun.
I'd love him to do it.
If there wasn't so much uncertainty at lightweight, like if Oliveira hadn't fucking missed weight and he had the belt, I'd be like, fucking hand it over. Have a crack, boys.
He's broken his hand at least in the sense that gives time for potentially other things to happen and he can sort of see how it goes.
Surely the UFC in the business of making coin, sweet coin, goes, well, like, who are we selling in fucking Volk's next fight at featherweight? Like, that's not doing big numbers.
That's-
People know the fuck these
Exactly.
losers are.
Yeah.
Put him up there, make some coin. If he loses, go back down. Business as usual. Nothing to lose. Money to be
What's
made.
crazy is he could actually go down to 135. Like there's talks of
you
Henry
reckon?
Suter. Yeah, 100% he could make 135 for sure. Size wise, height and that for sure. He's quite
But
a
he's
stocky.
big.
He's a big, but he's-
big.
But I think he could lose that muscle mass for sure.
That'd
for
be
sure.
a big cut, right?
Not if he did it properly. Not if he did it properly. But there's talk of Henry Cejudo coming back and fighting. I actually wouldn't mind that.
I
Now,
want
think
Cejudo to
he'd
come
bash
back
him.
and fight someone else first.
I know. But I can see him dominating Cejudo. Cejudo's great, fantastic fighter. Anyway, I've got to leave soon, boys, so apologies.
That's all right, mate.
We're getting wrapped up.
I'd
here.
like to keep talking about Volk though.
Wrapping us up, are you?
Jai Opataya defeats Breedis and becomes the IBF Cruiserweight World Champion. Did you
Double
guys?
broken jaw.
Yeah, did you guys see this fight?
I didn't see.
I didn't see it, but I saw the
fucking
X-ray
X-ray of the face.
I saw the X-ray.
Bro, it was one of the most incredible performances I've ever seen in my life. So Breedis has only lost one fight, and it was a split decision. Guess who the split decision loss was by Breedis? The guy that Opataya just beat. It was against Usyk.
Oh,
Really?
shit.
A split decision loss to Usyk that went on to beat fucking Anthony Joshua up a division. That's who Opataya just beat.
Wow.
And he did it. So
How long was his jaw broken for in the
since
fight?
round 2.
No.
And then he broke it again on the other side in round 11. So he snapped one side round 2, snapped the other side
Dude,
round
that
11.
is so fucking
It was so
wild.
hectic that in the last round, he couldn't even keep his mouth closed. There was blood pouring out. His mouth guard was nearly falling out. Like he was like fighting with his mouth open. Bro! He couldn't talk on the mic.
No,
So
he
they
just
tried to
said
interview
happy
him.
or something, right?
And he was like, oh, no, he couldn't
What
talk.
a fucking beast.
Honestly, absolutely amazing. And honestly, if he didn't break his jaw, and it's, of course, he broke his jaw fairly, so it's a part of the fight. But let's just say that he took those same shots and they didn't break. He probably would have won the fight by more because technically he was outstanding.
So
Like,
was it,
first
was
six
it
fight.
unanimous?
Yes, so the closest was 2 rounds, but he won. He banked enough rounds early on to get the win. It was like when I think the pain in that started kicking in, like I think it was like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, is when like he started to not box as well.
Because imagine having your jaw broken and they're like, oh, fuck, that's not good. We
Yeah.
can get through. Okay, you did the other one. This is fucked.
Fucking
This
hell.
is fucked. This is
Absolutely
fucked.
amazing. Just incredible. Honestly, it was an amazing thing to watch. Jai's a legend too. I've had him on the show years ago. Absolute
Oh, yeah,
legend of
just
a
another
bloke.
world champion that you fucking unearthed.
Mate, I tell
That's
you
your third
what.
world champ.
I
Is that
tell
your
you
third
what.
world champ?
Hey?
That's your third world champ.
Yeah.
Cambosis.
Yeah.
And Jai.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe you're the secret sauce.
Well, no, it's more like, so if you
Seriously. If you want to be a
I-
world champion, do a fucking potty
if
with
you're a
Kevy.
fighter, I will watch your highlights before you come on. And if I feel like I don't know if he is going to go like professionally with this, then I'll usually be like, look, let's just wait until you do your
Somebody.
thing, and we'll bring you on. But Jai obviously seen his highlights. Volks I knew from day one, and the reason why I knew was because, and I think I've said to you guys this before, but like any bloke that's 5'7" playing in the front fucking row and doing his job and doing it well, him fighting against 145ers, he'll rissole them. So like clearly he's got an incredible pound for pound strength going on, and and I've seen his highlights and seen how crazy his overhand right was. So I knew Volks would be, even before Holloway, I knew he was a guy that could beat Holloway only because of his style was perfect for Holloway. Like he's great technically, but Holloway has to worry about the takedown. Volks has enough power to worry a Holloway, and he's got a good gas tank. And so anyway, Jai Opataya, incredible performance. Massive congratulations.
And called Jai. Love a world champion
Mate.
called Jai.
And
Jai with an eye, baby.
he he's been just grinding away too. Doesn't get as much press as like some of the other world champions, but he's just been
Not yet.
grinding
He
away.
will after this.
Absolutely, he
Not
will. And then Israel Adesanya defeats Jared Cannonier.
Snooze fest.
Yeah, I get it with Israel though.
I get it, but
I
it doesn't
get
mean
it.
it's not
Doesn't mean
boring.
it- yeah.
yeah, no, I'm with you.
He's clearly the fucking best, right? He's clearly the and he's so skilled and talented that he can just. But it's not like the wrong thing to say if you're like, hey, it's a boring fucking fight. Like it was a boring fight,
Yeah, I can understand that. I just
and he was rolling out. He's rolled out a couple of boring fights. Like
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
well, it's tough because he's such a counter puncher. If the other person isn't willing to risk a lot,
Which they're not.
which they're not, and fair enough too, then it just becomes a fight where it's like it's like a game of chicken. Who's willing to fucking risk it?
He, though, again, like, couldn't be more pro, is he? But he comes out, he talks a big game for like a little bit. Like, he was like saying he was going to fuck up Cannonier and he didn't do it.
He's selling the fight.
Yeah, of course he is.
That's what he does every time.
But that's what I mean, though, right? You sell the fight, and then if it doesn't go that way, then people are going to be obviously a little bit like, well, I expected a bit more than what we got.
But people forget. People got short memories because this isn't the first time that's happened. I'll fuck him up and he doesn't.
Oh, next fight, I'll be just as keen.
That's the thing that I think starting to get a bit repetitive now, is that people now are starting to go, like, wait a minute, I swear this has happened a few times.
Right, okay. And you see that, like, well, I think they're sort of suggesting that might be a bit of a problem.
I mean, fuck, he's still Israel Adesanya. I don't know. I'll still watch.
Looking at the numbers, though. I reckon the UFC quietly would be a little bit like,
please knock someone out.
This guy is he's our pay-per-view guy at the moment.
And his contract's fucking large, but like...
That's why they loved Conor McGregor, because he was going out starching blokes in the first
100%. And talking mad shit and like predicting when he'd knock him out.
Now we're going to have to rush through this, boys. Yep. Sharks v Storm. Who you got?
Stormies.
Storm. Knights v Rabbits.
Rabbits.
I'm going...
Fuck the Knights.
Rabbits. Tigers v Eels.
Eels.
Broncos Dragons.
Broncos.
And that's it.
When Broncos beat the Dragons, guess what, man?
Guess who's in the top 8?
Oh, really?
Slipstream,
baby. You didn't listen.
Okay, so you're on the Broncos train this week, at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm on the Broncos huge this week.
Okay.
For the first time in a long time.
That is us done and dusted for the day, guys. Make sure to follow Hello Sport, Instagram, Facebook, Punters and Dribblers group. Subscribe to their podcast. Grab a case of Bloke and a Bar beer. Liquor Legends has all our MIDI. Celebrations Bottle-O have all of our OG. And I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.